towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, exercise.
You know, the right gear makes all the difference.
Sure does, which is why I went to Kohl's and got an Adidas hoodie for my husband and some Under Armour gear for myself.
Is shopping your cardio?
More like my motivation. I also picked up some Nike sneakers for my son.
Oh, family workouts.
That's the goal. Select styles. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, the Blitz.
You know, it's always hard to follow some of those great Paul Feinbaum callers. Whatever that was, legend, the name calling, the bickering. That was interesting. That was funny. I'm glad Paul let that one go.
It was funny until it wasn't funny. You know, after a while, that kind of stuff, they're just talking over each other and arguing back and forth. And it's not funny anymore.
No, but again, I think Paul Feinbaum said, all right, well, instead of cutting that guy off, which is what a lot of radio hosts would do, he said, we're not name calling. It was just, you know.
We were both laughing, that's for sure.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Wednesday, we got a lot to get into today.
Man, it's a big week anyway, right? Yes. But yeah, there is a lot going on and a lot happening, you know, just around the station, around town, and all of that kind of stuff.
I don't know. We'll get into 49ers Cowboys quite a bit today and some of the things going on there. Jane Slater will join us coming up at 5:30 as she does every Wednesday. And we've got some gym talk. Now, Reinagle every day comes in and is like, here's what we were arguing about today at the gym. And before we get into any of the specifics, do you actually work out? Or is it just a bunch of old men at the gym in the morning arguing about sports?
Well, I'm the old guy, okay? Everybody else is young, and so it's one old guy and young guys arguing at the gym. But it's a good excuse to kind of take a break, you know what I mean? And so if you're in the middle of doing something and you start an argument or debate with a guy, there's a guy at the gym. His name is Ray. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a trainer.
Okay.
He'll argue with you about anything and never agree with you. It doesn't matter what you say. He's going to disagree with you. And so we had a disagreement today.
Is his name Ray or James Pledger?
It may be one and the same. I don't know.
James Pledger producing as always. But I mean, you look at, I mean, you work up your sweat arguing. I mean, it's like every day we've been working together now a week and a half doing this show. And every day, man, this is what happened today at the gym. Like, do you actually work out?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's
or
a lot
of Gossip Girl time.
We should really do the show from there at some point in time because I'm telling you.
Me at a gym?
You could stay outside, okay? But it's really interesting because you go in there and it's just like somebody will be walking by and my brother Randy and I are talking and we're talking about sports or something, and somebody will walk by and they'll have an opinion on that, and then another guy will come in and have an opinion, and we go back and forth and disagree and talk, and it's it's a lot of fun. It makes for interesting. And now that I'm here with you, you know, it used to be I just do it and you kind of forget about it, but now it's like we got to talk about that tonight.
You're taking notes.
Exactly.
But again, I think your sentence right there says it all. Well, this morning, my brother and I, we were sitting there talking. Not one time in 10 days of doing this, as Joe said, you know, I was in the middle of my bench press and this guy came up to me. It's always, you know, I was sitting here talking with my brother. I was talking with the trainer. I was talking to this guy, that guy. It's like you're just sitting around, like you go to the gym like it's a coffee shop.
Well, I mean, it's you socialize. That's what you do.
I was in the middle of this squat, and this guy wanted to tell me the Alabama wide receiver got hurt. That cost him a game. I almost had a hernia. Well, that story I haven't heard.
I probably was in the middle of, you know, curling 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
12 ounces.
And so, no, we actually do get some workout in, and you know, it's good. It keeps me young and somewhat healthy. So it's a good thing. But you know, the gossip and the talk and the debates and what it is, it's like a radio show without being on the radio.
Absolutely.
Because, we're talking, and that's kind of the point of all of this, right? We sit around as guys and girls, and if you're having a beer somewhere, you're talking sports. You're working out, you're talking sports. You're, whatever. And it's all about life too. It's not necessarily sports. So it's a good prep for this show.
It is. And again, I think going from the gym to honey buns is a great segue.
I think you're right.
It's a natural segue. You and I have been in the media business for a long time.
Yes.
Things don't last in a radio station break room. If there's food left on a table in the break room, it's fair game, right?
Sure.
If it's in the fridge with somebody's name on it in a bag, it's not 100% safe, right? But again, generally, if it's in the fridge, you don't mess with it. If it's on the table and it's just sitting there and there's a bunch of them, it's fair game to eat. Well, I get to work today about 1:45 and walk past the break room, and there's all these honey buns and bags of chili cheese Fritos,
which are delicious, by the way.
They are, but I can't tell you the last time I had a honey bun. And I love chili cheese Fritos, but generally speaking, if you buy the multi-bag of single-serving chip bags, chili cheese Fritos aren't a part of that mix.
No.
Right? And I generally get those at Sam's or at Costco's and, that sort of thing. So I love chili cheese Fritos, but I'm not buying the big bag because I'm never going to finish that. So every now and then when you get a small bag, it's good, right? And a honey bun I haven't had in forever. So I'm thinking, all right, man, this is cool. Then I start looking at all the stuff that's sitting there in the break room, and they're all expired. And then I'm thinking, well, there's in the radio types that work here, right? They don't look at expiration dates. So I even asked Pledge, who is a garbage disposal. I'm like, Pledge, man, what's up with the break room stuff? All expired.
And Pledge wasn't even eating it?
No, they were all there. He knew they were there. They were all expired.
Wow.
So I asked one of the ladies in the office that kind of runs everything here, Pat. And I was like, how long have those been sitting out there? Because if they got there at 1:30, all right, 1:45, they're
usually gone.
She's like, oh, before noon. So now I'm kind of alarmed.
Yeah.
Because I want to eat this honey bun, but it's got an expiration date. These chips expired. Now, I know there are some that will say the expiration date is a mere suggestion.
It is a suggestion.
Milk, if it's close to the date, I'm not touching it.
Right.
But can a bag of chips really go bad? I mean, it says guaranteed fresh until December 28th of 2021.
So all they're saying is that they may be a little stale.
Well, who wants stale chips?
Well, nobody, but I'm just saying, if it's somewhat stale, it's okay.
The bags are sealed. They're good. They're chili cheese Fritos, right?
Well, I say we just try them and see what happens.
The honey buns, enjoyed by January 10th of 2022. So these things, like literally, they were good this week.
These are delicious, by the way.
Are they good? Are they good and fresh?
Good. Yes. There's no issue with the chili cheese Fritos.
So the guy that runs our vending machine, I guess, pulled them out, throw them on the table because he can't sell them after the expiration date.
No, he pulled them out, threw them on the table because he knew he was at a radio station, and radio folks, TV folks, are going to eat that stuff. It's just the way it is.
If you bought this out of the vending machine, and I'm not sure what is it, $1 or whatever, would you even look for the expiration date?
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, so the guy threw $12 on the table. Well, I mean, not that he paid $12 at Sam's, but then it was like, would you eat these? So I took a picture, I posted on Twitter, and it's amazing the responses that you get, but they're hilarious. Brad Sham, the voice of the Cowboys, is like, they eat them. They're good.
Yeah,
they're fine. But a couple of you were like, dude, I wouldn't touch those.
Now I don't know about the honey bun. That's a different story. But, the Fritos, dude, a lot of preservatives in there. But the honey bun, I'm not sure about. So I tried the Fritos. You're going to have to try the honey bun.
Well, I put the honey bun in the microwave for 15 seconds.
All right, you're going to have to try that.
Good, but I haven't had one of these in forever. And I don't know if we should do this in the first segment or the last in case things don't work out well.
Well, yeah, Pledge may be taking over about 5:30.
There's good.
Yeah?
There's good. I haven't had honey bun in forever.
I haven't either. See, there's no issue with them.
No.
And, the guy wouldn't have left them out. That tells you all you need to know. Most likely.
What do you mean?
Well, the guy that services the vending machine probably handles this all the time. It's like, hey, dude, it may say December 28th, but that really means, it doesn't matter. They just have to put that on there.
Mark on social media says, cheese, mold, good luck. There's no cheese here. It's good.
Yeah, so we're okay. And then we had one that said, would you eat an expired Twinkie?
Do those expire?
I don't know if
I
they
thought
do.
they were good forever.
You know what that reminds me of, though, is Die Hard. Remember the movie Die
Of
Hard where
course
they're
I
eating the 3-year-old Twinkie?
Well, that's what's the beer that does the born on date? I mean, it's guaranteed fresh. These bags of chips are guaranteed fresh, but they don't tell me when it was packaged. Was there anywhere on here that says?
Well, and who makes that up anyway? Right? So if these are packaged a year ago and somebody just stamps a December 28th is when these expired of last year. I mean, who makes that up? Who knows? Is there some scientific formula?
I'm sure there is. The FDA, a lot of people in suits have jobs for a reason. They come up with this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, this is a good date. Bam.
Well,
come on. These are perfectly fine. They're delicious. And
well, how much of it really is just kind of a mental game?
It's a mental game.
Because if I bought something in the store today, if you're able to find something in the store, because apparently there's lots of empty shelves out there.
Apparently.
But if you roll in and you get something and it said it expired in like 7 years, would you be concerned about what's in it that's going to make it last for 7 years?
Like Twinkies.
Yeah,
Twinkies will last forever. I don't think they would outlast a roach. Okay, nothing kills a roach. Nothing spoils a Twinkie. So, yeah, Twinkies are good. No, I don't think so because, unless it's something that is fresh, like meat, perhaps, or even bread. I'll check it on bread too, but everything else,
well, if it's going to get up moldy, right?
Yeah, right.
If it's it's kind of like hot sauce in your fridge. Say you're getting some chips and salsa, you put the rest of the jar in the fridge. How long is it going to last in there? You open it up. If it's kind of moldy, you throw it away. If it smells all right, you just roll through and go.
Well, it depends.
Because according to Drake, hot sauce kills all kinds of things.
Do you wipe the lid though every time? Like paste, right? I love paste picante sauce. So when you pour that out though, and some stays on the lid, and then when you reopen it, it's all black crusty, and brown right there. You see, that's gross. So I've learned now to wipe that off.
So it's clean when it goes in. It'll be clean. But how long are you going to leave it in there? For me, if I can remember the last time I opened it, I'm good. If I don't remember, I'm throwing it away and getting a new one.
Well, honestly, I can't remember the last time that I allowed a paste picante sauce to go bad because it goes pretty quick.
True.
So, I don't know, but these chips are delicious. I think it's a suggestion. And quite frankly, I don't trust the people that put that stamp on there because I don't think they know what they're talking about. How about that?
They know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about.
They get paid a lot of money to do that.
Well, they work for the government, so that ought to tell you everything you need to know.
This is true. Rob Spencer says, did Minix ever have an expired MRE during his time in the military? The answer to that, my friend, is no. I was in the Navy. So one of the great things about the Navy is there's a galley. There's food every day. Now, if they served up expired food, I don't know. But, unlike, Army guys or Marines or Air Force guys that might be in a tent somewhere living on MREs, that was never me. In the Navy, there was always a shower. It wasn't always hot. There was always meals and always, porcelain. So, you were taking care and a beach in your business. So I didn't have to deal with MREs.
Were you a PR guy in the Navy? What did you do in the Navy?
I was a public affairs officer for the USS Seattle.
Which is basically a PR guy.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. No, I had a great job. My job in the Navy is, and for all you Navy types out there's what's called Sight TV. So basically, when your ship is underway, you've got 4 channels, right? And Armed Forces Network would send us 8-hour blocks of programming for the 4 different channels, different TV shows, old games or whatever. So every 8 hours, I used to have to change tape and start the next 8 hours. So Sight TV was working. And the same with the radio station. There was 4 music channels, and every 8 hours, you would have to change the tape. And then underway, we would do nightly news on Sight TV at 10 o'clock. And then I would fly around in a helicopter when we were doing underway replenishments taking photos and video in case there was an accident, and also anti-espionage kind of thing.
So let me get this straight, Minix. You were basically the ship's remote control.
Yeah,
that's what you did.
That's and me and the captain's cook would play video games the rest of the time.
Jason Minix.
It was good duty.
The best Navy remote control in the business.
Yeah, but you kind of knew what the movies were coming. You would take requests, and really the best part of the job though was I was on the MWR committee, Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. So a day or two before the ship would pull into whatever port we were going to, me and 3 others, we would fly in to that city on a helicopter. We'd fly in. You meet with local police and authorities about where guys shouldn't go, where they can't go, and then also restaurants, tours, and kind of, hey, man, we got 600 guys coming in. Do we recommend this place? That was the best part of it.
So you got to try them out first.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah. That was good stuff back in the day. That was good stuff back in the day. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on Twitter. He is at JoeKens5. Tweet at me at Jason Minix, or you could always dial up the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Playoff time for the Dallas Cowboys. Big game against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday. What I find interesting is across the board, from Michael Irvin to all these different articles you'll click on, Cowboys drew the worst matchup possible this weekend in the first round. And for the life of me, I don't understand how you could say this is the worst possible matchup. It's the playoffs, so you're going to face a good team. You're at home. You've got to stop the run. You've got to try to create turnovers. But if your offense is doing what it's supposed to do, Cowboys should easily get a win, even though Vegas has them right now as a 3-point favorite.
And then that's it. So basically it's an even game, right? Because you get 3 points for being at home.
Traditionally.
Right? So 3-point favorite. So really Vegas is thinking this is a toss-up. And, it's interesting that they do because it makes a lot of sense that the Cowboys might not want to face the Niners. They're the hottest team going into the playoffs right now.
One of the 49er players said the other day, wouldn't you say the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys if they were the 6th seed?
No.
Yes, they would. I mean, you look at it, and the lack of consistency for a team that has scored more points than every other team in the NFL and has more takeaways than every other team in the NFL, the lack of consistency says, yeah, I don't know about trusting this team. But when you look at their quarterback, the reputation of their running back, you look at their wide receiver core, you look at some of the defenders and Diggs and Parsons and D-Law and what Randy Gregory is doing, tell me where you would say, yeah, man, that's going to be an easy game for anybody. I think the same could be said for both of these teams.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game. None of these playoff games should be easy games. I mean, the teams are in the playoffs for a reason. But look, with the Cowboys, and we've talked about this, for the last couple of weeks, they just have been extremely inconsistent, right? They really have. And you just don't know what you're going to get. Now, the good news for the Cowboys, bad news for the Niners is the Cowboys are healthy. Man, they were getting everybody back. Everybody's going to be back from the COVID list. And the Cowboys are going to be at absolute full strength heading in to this playoff game. So in that respect, you got to like the Cowboys' chances. However, Jason, I mean, the Niners really have been playing some good football, and they can run the football. And as we saw against the Arizona Cardinals, the Cowboys haven't been very good against the run.
They haven't, although their defensive coordinator seems to be one of the hottest candidates for all these head coaching openings. And you look at San Francisco, and you're right, they will run the football. And one of the things I do appreciate about the 49ers, which means I'm concerned about it when you're talking about this game coming up against the Dallas Cowboys, is they were down 17 points to the Rams, and they stayed with their run game. They didn't freak out like, say, the Colts against Jacksonville and go away from the run and put it in the hands of their quarterback. They stayed with the run game, climbed back into that game, and ended up getting a win in overtime against the Rams team. The one game that baffles me, is they have won 4 or 5 coming in, is that 20-17 loss they had 3 weeks ago to your Tennessee Titans.
True. Why does that baffle you?
Because Tennessee's not that good. No,
They're
I mean,
the number one seed. I'm just saying. Derrick Henry's coming back. Did we mention
they
that?
are. Yeah. But I mean, you look at that. That's the one game where they weren't very good in that game. They end up losing it 20-17.
Was that Titans defense? Are you kidding me?
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but the Titans did show if you stop the run, that's a pretty average football team.
Yeah, but it was still close. And San Francisco's got a pretty good defense. They got a pretty good pass rush as well. So
they get a lot of sacks.
That's right. You can't discount that side of the ball either. So again, as it has for the Cowboys, it's going to come down to that offensive line. They've got to give Dak some protection, number one, and they've got to be able to run the football, number two. Yeah, that was another gym topic this morning.
Here we go.
Okay. Is Ezekiel Elliott done? And not only that, again, I'll go back to, wouldn't you love to go into this playoff run or into anything with Trayvon Diggs on one side and Jalen Ramsey on the other? Wouldn't that be something else?
It would be.
And Tony Pollard in the backfield.
It would be.
So I want to go back and say why again. I just don't know. And this was an argument we had. Why you draft Ezekiel Elliott number 4 in the draft. You never draft a running back in the top 5.
I would give you a lot more of your gym arguments if you were talking about, man, how great would it be to have TJ Watt as opposed to Taco Charlton?
Okay,
on the defense on the defensive side,
you wouldn't want to have Trayvon Diggs and Jalen Ramsey on each corner.
I would love it, but I think if you had a Jalen Ramsey, you wouldn't have drafted a Diggs.
Why wouldn't you?
You wouldn't have. I mean, you would have said, okay, we're good there in the secondary. But yeah, I'd rather have a lot of people besides, say, Anthony Brown on the other side of Diggs. I would.
Absolutely.
But get some pressure on the quarterback. And I'm with you. I think it's really on this offensive line. San Francisco gets a lot of sacks. And Mike McCarthy said today, it's not just the sacks, but the hit on the quarterback and take some deep shots. They've got to be able to open up this offense. And I'd like to say and think, although I don't believe it myself, have the Cowboys been kind of holding some things back for the postseason? Will they open up the offense in the second half? The amount of pressure that's on Dak Prescott to go win.
Please. Are you kidding me?
I'm not saying I believe it, but this offense has been so underneath and quick. Where's the why? Because we know the talent is there. They scored 50 in 2 of the last 3 games. I don't care who you're playing. That's hard to do in the NFL.
Oh, it is hard to do, and that is impressive. And I'm not going to take that away from them. But, that was brought up after the Arizona game. When they lost to the Cardinals, everybody would say, well, the Cowboys were holding something back because they're going to see them again in 2 weeks. Stop it. They're not holding anything back. The Cowboys are not good enough to hold stuff back so they can use it in the playoffs. And I'm not just say the Cowboys, I'm going to say any team. They're not good enough to hold things back and wait until the playoffs. That's ridiculous.
I will say, I hope that trying to get Zeke healthy has limited what he's been doing over the last several weeks, and they've dialed back his number of carries. He's still a great blocker, so you have to have him in there because Tony Pollard can't fulfill that role that Zeke does so well. But maybe the lack of touches is trying to get Zeke healthy. But even against Philadelphia the other night, the lack of explosion on some of those runs is alarming.
Well, Pollard's back.
Yep.
He's healthy. That's good. And I'm glad the Cowboys want to pay $75 million for a good blocker. That's great. Good for them.
Good work if you can get it.
That's
good for
awesome.
Zeke.
That's great.
That's what it is. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Joe Ryan-Egel is retiring from Kents. People are still getting used to hearing you in the afternoon. Friend of mine named Carl, he works over at Bjorn's. He just texted me and said, your partner sounds like John Gruden.
John Gruden.
John Gruden? That's a new one.
Yeah, that is new. I've never heard that before.
Not me neither. Maybe. That's why I read it. I thought it was funny.
Oh, that is kind of funny. John Gruden. I'd have to hear John Gruden again. I haven't heard him in a while.
Yeah,
so
nobody has. He's not answering the Corona hotline anymore either.
Well, no, he's not.
Nobody is hearing from John Gruden. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Coming up, we've got Jane Slater. She'll join us at 5:30. We'll talk more Cowboys with Jane Slater from the NFL Network. Also, the new head football coach of the UIW Cardinals, G.J. Kinne, is going to join us at 6 o'clock. The Cardinals moving into the WAC. The schedule was released today. Going to be fun. We know we talked to his former quarterback yesterday. I guess not his former quarterback, but the Cardinals' former quarterback yesterday in Cameron Ward, who's on his way to Washington State after hitting the transfer portal. So, Kinne, first order of business as you fill out your staff is also find a quarterback. And Maddy Skye will join us coming up in a couple of minutes. You know, you never know when you're going to need an electrician, which is why you need to know about Hill Electric and the fact that they're available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. About 1 o'clock, I get a call from Rob Thompson. Hey, man, who can I call over at Hill Electric? I think I need them because I got this going on at the house and this is going on at the house. And that's what Hill Electric will do. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, but if you've got a fuse that keeps blowing out, or you got flickering lights, or, all of a sudden, nothing in a part of the house is working and you're not sure what to do, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So if you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric come by and design your socially distant space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. They're a great locally owned, family-owned business. Again, never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or online hill-electric.com. Maddy Skye from the San Antonio Express News. He joins us next right after SportsCenter and James Pledger.
Thanks, Jason. Well, the Dallas Cowboys did get some good news today as they're nearing full health, getting ready for their first-round playoff game with the San Francisco 49ers, as both left tackle Tyron Smith and rookie linebacker Micah Parsons came off the reserve COVID-19 list today. In other Cowboy news, quarterback Dak Prescott was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week after completing 21 of 27 passes for 295 yards and a career-high 5 touchdown passes in their Week 18 win over the Eagles last week. It was the second time in 3 weeks the Cowboys have put up more than 50 points, and the second time in 3 weeks that he was named the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week. In the NBA, the Spurs, who have lost 3 straight and 7 of their last 8, sitting at 15-25 on the year, return home for the first time in the year of 2022 as they take on the Houston Rockets. Houston's 11-31 and have lost 3 straight, but they're just 4-18 on the road this year. Tip-off for tonight's game from the AT&T Center set for 7:30, and Game Night San Antonio helps to get you ready for it at 6:30 on the Blitz. Finally, in college hoops, the Texas Tech Red Bears upset undefeated or previously undefeated Baylor 65-62. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
Deep breaths.
Mi's virtual meditation studio has never been busier.
Imagine not working.
They need a remote assistant to realign their scheduling.
Blank calendar. Sorry, back to your breath.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Make calls, schedule virtual interviews, and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did the guy driving the 18-wheeler which wrecked into you focus too much on looking at himself in the mirror and not the road in front of him? His hair is still a mess, and now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
The Cowboys are on the road to the big game, and it all starts this Sunday as our Cowboys take on the 49ers, and San Antonio Sports Star is live to cover it all. Join us this Sunday at Twin Peaks Westover Hills location at 410 and 151 to help us cheer on the Cowboys. The party starts at 2:30 alongside the beautiful ladies of Twin Peaks. Of course, you know we always bring swag wherever we go. That's this Sunday, starting at 2:30 at Twin Peaks Westover Hills, the location at 410 and 151. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for River City Oral Surgery and Dr. Mark Haberkorn. Do you have a toothache? Do you need your wisdom teeth out? You're looking to add dental implants. I want to tell you about Dr. Mark Haberkorn and what he does over at River Center Oral Surgery. It's a full scope oral surgery practice right there at I-10 and 1604. The office is local. He lives here. He's here for both pre and post care all the time. Haberkorn is a specialist in oral surgery and a medical doctor, and he offers direct patient care. And if you're looking for the price, he can tell you exactly for how much things cost. Go to their website, rivercityoms.com. Check it out. A list of the actual prices for the procedures he does. You don't get upsold. It is what it costs. Not too many practices like this. I love it. Go check it out. They even offer financing. You need a great doctor at a cost-effective price. Dr. Haberkorn is changing the dentist industry with River City Oral Surgery. You owe it to yourself. Give him a call, 210-778-0002, 210-778-0002.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio, has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump, with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star listeners, this is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Thanks to fans like you, you can now buy Kielbasa products just about everywhere. We hope you continue to enjoy our handcrafted, small batch smoked meats because we sure enjoy making them for you. So grab some today and let me know what you think. My number's on the back of every pack. Right by my promise that if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
This is The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's hard to see all of what goes on in the city. That's why we got Maddy Skyeline. It's time for Maddy Skyeline.
It is time for Maddy Skyeline here on The Blitz, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He's Joe Reinagle, I'm Jason Minix, and she is Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express News, as she joins us every Wednesday. And Maddy, being the food part, the food and culture part, when you see expired food in the break room, and I know there at the Express News, you guys are about to move into your new office, it's fair game for everybody. If it's expired food, do you eat it?
One day, yeah. I would eat it if it's expired by one day.
Just one day. Why just one day, Maddy?
Because I'm actually pretty finicky about like expired stuff. I won't eat it. I have ever told you how I ended up in the hospital because I ate a bad egg when I was little, and like
you ate a bad egg when you were little?
Was it expired?
I haven't heard this story. Do eggs expire?
I was 2 or 3. I almost died. So
okay,
I don't mess with that stuff.
Are you being serious? You almost died.
Yes.
Really?
The one time a taco did me wrong. Yes.
The one time. All right, so you can't make fun of that, but in reality, you were 2. Get over it.
Oh my God.
I mean, you can't remember trauma from when you were 2 years old, can you?
Well, apparently so.
I have a lot of memories from being 2 years old, but not that one, thankfully. I think I blocked that one out.
I know, other than hearing your mom tell stories, I don't remember anything from when I was a kid like that.
Well, Jason, really? You're old. I mean, Maddie's young. She, 2 years old wasn't that long ago. For you, it was a long time ago.
I think the age difference between Maddy and I is about the same as me and you. So you better watch it there, buddy. All right. So in the break room today, now I was a little alarmed because I found out that these items were sitting on the break room table for several hours, and that never happens in a radio station. There was some chili cheese Fritos, and honey buns. And I haven't had a honey bun in forever. It was expired, but I just housed that honey bun during the commercial break. It was fantastic. I haven't had one of those.
The whole honey.
The whole thing is gone.
On the whole honey bun.
The whole one
That's
is gone.
kind of difficult because they're not a very neat snack to devour that quickly. So I imagine your fingers are.
No, I'm good.
Pretty sticky.
So
I'm good.
Maddie, if you tune in about 5:30 and you only hear me, you'll know why.
I'll be down the hall. It's probably because they're expired.
Honey buns are one of those things that you can't. I feel like honey buns are one of those things that you have to eat like sparingly, kind of like s'mores. Like I feel like s'mores, you're good with like 2, and then you kind of get like tired of them. I feel the same way with honey buns.
Yeah.
No, that whole thing was fantastic. I don't know if I could do that every day or every morning.
I would hope you did it.
But that one was
I think your doctor would like that.
That was. I do a lot of things my doctor doesn't like, I'm sure, but that one was, but it's probably been,
Jason,
2010.
Do you even have a doctor?
Of course.
I doubt it.
I mean, it's the random dude at the emergency room, but like a lot of people, the ER doc is your primary care guy. It's just the next one you see. No, I don't have a regular doctor that I go see, and he knows me and I know him. No,
I thought so.
I'm not old enough for that yet.
Yeah.
I have a primary care doctor.
Okay. Everybody has a primary care doctor except Jason. Why don't you have a primary care doctor?
I don't know. To be honest, I mean, when you say it that way, I have no idea. I have a lot of doctor friends that generally, if I need something, I call them and get taken care of.
I feel like that was a slight flex on us.
It might be. When you're married to a nurse, you end up with a lot of friends that are doctors.
I bet you're one of those people that like washes their face with like shampoo or something too.
No, it's got. I got face soap. It's all good. I don't use the same bar soap for the face. All right.
What?
That was a weird laugh when you're talking about that.
I don't know. I've gotten really big into like skincare recently.
Really?
I don't know. Hello, Rick's Barbecue and Specialties. Huh? Yeah, like I have like a 8-step skincare process right now.
8?
I'm afraid of getting wrinkles.
Step. Now, how long does that take you to do?
Yeah, TV boy wants to know.
Yeah, I need it.
It depends because I found a way to make it work. So like while one product is drying, I'm like brushing my teeth, or like the other product is drying, I'm like doing my hair. So it kind of like it doesn't take that long. I have been running a little bit more late to things than I am in the past, which was already bad as it is. But I was on time today, so that's a good point. I want to add that I was on time today. But yeah, it doesn't take that long. It's really relaxing at night too, to do it at night when it's like your bedtime routine. You do it all over again. So
a look behind the curtain with Maddy Skye.
Well, clearly, I mean, there's a lot of effort.
Ask your daughters.
Yeah. Joe's got 5 of them. All us girl dads understand. I mean, I walk in when I went to Phoenix last month for her graduation, and I've done this before, but you walk into that there's more stuff in there, and I don't know what any of it does. I mean, there's bottle after bottle after bottle after bottle after, and then of course when Dad's in town, we're going shopping and we're buying on. I'm like, why do you need more of this shampoo and this kind of conditioner, and the difference between regular conditioner and leave-in conditioner, and then something called dry shampoo, which I don't understand. There's all these things, and it's like, but you got like 800 bottles in your bathroom now. It's like, well, I always need more. If you're here and you're buying the groceries, I've got to do the shopping now.
Well, and sometimes that stuff doesn't work, right? You use it once, you don't like it, so the bottle goes in the corner and you get another one.
Well, they throw in the trash.
That's what happens.
Throw in the trash.
No.
Poor college kid, man. Trade with somebody else if it didn't work for you.
Well, it might work a month from now. You just don't know. Or that might be all you have a month from now after you're back in San Antonio. And that's her go-to.
I'm with you, Maddie.
That's how you know Joe has 5 daughters.
There you go, Maddie. Thank you.
You know, my sister-in-law used to travel a lot for business, and in every hotel, she would always take the shampoo and soaps out of all that and send it to her kids while they were in college. I mean, they took whatever they got.
Dude, I swiped that on the first day, so the housekeepers put more in. You take that, and then they put more in, and I'm walking back with 5-6 bottles.
You're probably the guy that sees it on the cart and just takes the whole crate, huh?
Well, of course, and they'll give it to you.
Yeah,
the housekeepers, they don't mind.
Yeah, they don't get her. All right, Maddy, what is going on in our great city today? You had an article, I believe, yesterday about Hispanic Elvis who isn't doing well. And the story is fascinating because I learned more about this guy in your article yesterday than I ever knew, the privacy in which he tries to keep.
Honestly, the same. So I think we all understand the Hispanic Elvis storyline, or who he is and what he does. He always hangs around Market Square, and I feel like everybody has their memories of him. I know mine was very young. I saw him at HEB with my grandma. And then since then, I've just always seen him around town, but I didn't know his backstory until yesterday. And I actually was able to get in contact with his family. They shared his condition with me, which isn't looking too good at the moment. He has an infection in his esophagus, and he also tested positive for COVID-19. As last they heard, he wasn't hooked up to any ventilators or anything like that, but he is hospitalized. And because he doesn't own a phone, they didn't really know what had happened to him. And the sad part about it is a lesson in privacy and disrespecting people. This poor family found out via social media that something was wrong with their loved one.
So this guy,
so somebody took that. There's that photo floating around that they're trying to get removed everywhere, and it's a really sad picture.
So,
and so they saw that first.
This local celebrity, and if you've been to Market Square, you've seen him. You know, a lot of people want a photo with him, but even his family doesn't have regular contact with him. Reading the article, he doesn't have a phone, but he'll randomly either borrow somebody's phone or call from a pay phone, which good luck finding one of those. Like I'm reading that. Who uses pay phones anymore? Right? I mean,
I've seen a few.
Well, I mean, I know there's like downtown near Pinkerton's, there's a bar called Gloria's, which might be one of the worst places on earth. There's a pay phone out in front of that, right? But but the idea of like this guy's a mystery to everybody, including his family.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. And he also, I think the coolest part of it all is he told me that his brother George told me that his whole little like shtick of being a musician is not just something he's doing. He used to be in bands in the 1960s, and the people that he played with went on to play with, like Sonny Ozuna, and he played at these like really well-known bars back in the day. So, you know, his brother told me he's just living his dream and he's not out to hurt anybody. But I think some people, you know, maybe they find his outfit strange. But if you're a true San Antonian, you know that's his. I mean, I've seen comments like that. Like some people, you know, the echo chamber on social media.
Sure.
People can say as whatever they want to say because they're behind a keyboard. But at the end of the day, that's somebody's family member that you just posted a picture of in a very sad situation and state. So those are just things to consider. I don't know. I mean, who goes up to somebody when they're on the floor and like takes a picture? I don't know. That's besides the point. But the family was hurt by it, and rightfully so. So.
Oh, certainly pray for the family for sure, and our thoughts are with them. Okay, I've got to ask you this because I may be the only guy in San Antonio that doesn't know. What is the Jerk Shack?
Oh, so the Jerk Shack is owned here locally. It started closer to the Inner West Side, and it's a Caribbean and Jamaican-inspired restaurant. I actually, too, have not tried it. As soon as I had the time to go try it myself, they closed the original location to focus on opening this brand new one out on the far west side, right by SeaWorld, right off of Highway 151. There's like Bill Miller's, and I think it's close to like 151 Saloon in that general area.
All right, now 151 Saloon, because I mean, near Bill Miller, that could be almost anywhere. But is this the place that used to be on Austin Highway?
No, it used to be on a street called Mattier, closer to the Inner West Side.
Okay, because I know there was a pre-COVID, there was a jerk chicken place over off Austin Highway near the radio station that was fantastic. And as we're back in studio and I'm driving around looking for the old spots, you know, that place is gone. There was a great Chinese restaurant that used to be there. It's apparently gone, you know, so I'm trying, now that we're back in the area, it's like, oh man, they're gone. So I was kind of hoping they open back up just somewhere else. But jerk chicken is fantastic, man. Jamaican jerk chicken.
And on top of that, people might go to the other restaurant in the restaurant group called Miroti at the Pearl. It's in the Pearl bottling department. I have eaten there at exit. Like I'm a big fan of like things that are just like together in a bowl, like Chipotle style. So it's like Jamaican, like rice and chicken, all that good stuff. So pretty excited about it finally opening. It's right next to Sorry Sorry, which is another story we've written about and the experience that we've done. Sorry Sorry Supper Club, that is Filipino food, and they have like a chef's table and I forgot what it was called. Calamansi juice. Calamansi juice is delicious.
Wow.
Like a lemonade. So, and there's also a hometown burger, all in that same little development. So you can try one of the original. Okay, Mistletoe and North St. Mary's.
It was the original Jerk Shack.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, Maddie, go take care of your skin. Get a mani, get a petty.
We've got some Fritos here for you too, Maddie.
Yeah.
We'll send them your way.
There'll be honey buns next
I
time
love
you're in
Fritos.
studio. They'll be more expired
Honey buns.
whenever that happens.
I'm good on that front.
Come on, dude. It was good. I mean, look at that. The whole thing is gone.
Yeah, dude, it didn't last long at all. I mean,
no, I was actually going to offer some to Joe, but
it was like a flash.
It was gone.
Yeah,
it's what happens. Maddie, we'll visit next week. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. See y'all next week.
Maddy Skye from the San Antonio Express News, kind of giving us an update on town, and that's one of the great things that she tells us about all these great restaurants that we want to go try.
See, I didn't know that. Now I want to go try the Jerk Shack.
And if they're good,
yeah,
you'll go back.
Exactly. But I want to try it, and so yeah, I'm going to rely on her every week now, Jason, to give me a place to go, and I'll try it out, and maybe we should do a restaurant review.
We could do that.
Maddie could give us the place to go, and then you and I go check it out, and we can do a review.
We could do that. But coming up, I've got an idea that's really, I mean, it's all about Joe. Joe's had some issues since he started here at the radio station.
I have.
We'll explain coming up, because Joe needs help.
I need a lot of help.
He needs a lot of help. We'll get into that as we continue here on the Blitz. Again, James Slater from the NFL Network joins us at 5:30. Let me tell you about River City Oral Surgery. If you need your wisdom teeth out, a tooth pulled, dental implants, you need to know about Dr. Mark Haberkorn at River City Oral Surgery. He offers direct patient care. You don't need a referral. You simply call and you make an appointment. Free market medicine is the way to go. And when I say that, free market, direct patient care, it's cash business. When I say cash, he'll take your credit card. You can write him a check. You can give him cash. They even have financing available. What he won't take is your insurance. Now, if you have dental insurance, chances are River City Oral Surgery is still going to be less, but you could always submit a claim with your insurance company and possibly get some of that money back. And all their prices are all inclusive, including post-op care, and they're on their website right now at rivercityoms.com. You know exactly what you're going to pay when you go in, and you know you're going to get the best care. River City Oral Surgery is a full-scope oral surgery practice on 1604 near I-10, basically right across the highway from Topgolf. Call 210-778-0002, 778-0002, or go to the website rivercityoms.com, rivercityoms.com for River City Oral Surgery.
1, 2, 3.
Live and local sports talk to get you out the door. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can really control your savings. Because when you drive less, you save more with pay per mile. So you're really in control of your savings, only paying for the miles you drive. Yeah, life is good when you're in the driver's seat. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Norfolk, Illinois.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a lounge singer to be their office receptionist.
Hello, this is Mickey Marquis, and you've reached the office of Doug & Associates. Thank you very much. Catch me Tuesday nights at the Hotel Johnson. Hello?
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Doug & Associates, this is Mickey Marquis. Hello?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
More than 1 in 3 people will face cancer in their lifetime. Unfortunately, fear can stop you from getting cancer screening, but it won't stop cancer. Early detection can save your life. Don't wait for symptoms to appear to act. Cancer screening is safe, effective, and accessible for everyone, including free or low-cost screening programs. Go to cancerscreenquiz.com now and take the American Cancer Society's 2-minute cancer screening quiz to find out what screening tests are right for you. Don't wait. Take the quiz. Get screened. Go to cancerscreenquiz.com now. Cancerscreenquiz.com.
According to NHTSA, in 2019, more than 5,000 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. Semi-truck, which weigh 20 to 30 times as much as passenger cars, can cause severe injuries in the event of a wreck. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
We will buy no used car before it's time. We will pay the top money because we know exactly what we're doing at GiveMeTheVin.com. We've bought $1 billion with a B of used cars from you guys in 2021 already because this used car market's on fire. $1 billion in volume. We're paying so much it's scary. Only at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Pride.
Hey, listen up.
Tradition.
Let's keep it going.
Football.
What's that?
The NFL playoff picture is coming together. Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Greeny on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The James Pledger's just eating a cold honey bun now.
He looks like he's enjoying it, though.
That's fantastic. It really was delicious.
So what's going to happen when you have to leave and then Pledge has to leave?
Can you drive?
I don't know. I'm going to have to try.
Dude, I don't know what's more of the gut buster, the expired honey bun or the expired chili cheese Fritos. And I like chili cheese Fritos. You just don't see them around unless they're in the big bag.
The big bag, right?
And I'm not buying a big bag because I'm not going to eat that many in one setting.
Well, my problem is I will. So that's why I don't eat the big, because I love those things and they're great. So
I'm a big snack guy and salty crunchy. So I buy a lot of small bags of chips, generally Doritos or the Lay's potato chips or those little small Pringles things because they're only 100 calories, right? But you need about 7 of them.
Right.
Right. But still, 7 at 100 calories is better than one bag at 500, I think. I don't know.
7 of those, 7 Miller Lights, and then, you're good to go. That's only 1,400 calories.
See, I'm with you.
You're in good shape.
I'm perfect. And then you got to figure out dinner, which has been an issue for Ryan Egel since he started working 2 jobs. And like many in the media business, you have to work 2 jobs to make ends meet.
That's right.
But one of the things that has been a real issue for you every day is we end at 7:00.
Right.
And then you race over to the TV station to get ready for the 10 o'clock news on Ken's TV.
Right.
And more than once, dinner has been an issue. Now that they have us in studio as opposed to my kitchen, you were like, it's a a super far drive for you every day. And so dinner is a challenge. So yesterday we're leaving the radio station and Ryan goes like, what's around here? And we started going through some options. And I tell him, he wanted a sandwich, but I told him to go to Zito's on Broadway, but apparently they're closed at 7. So I was like, well, there's a Schlotsky's over there. Somehow Ryan Egel couldn't find Schlotsky's.
I didn't see Schlotsky's.
Literally right across the street from where you ended up. Right across the street.
Well, I'm looking around and I see a variety of things to do. And all I want is something quick, right? I need something quick. So, and I'm kind of in the mood for a sandwich. So I see a Subway. It's right there. It's open. Doesn't look
literally across the street from Schlotsky's.
Okay. Well, I didn't see Schlotsky's. I saw Subway. So I pull in there And I go in, and there's one person sitting there eating, and then a couple of guys behind the counter. So I walk up to the counter, and first of all, it looked like they were about to close. All it was 7:15, but there wasn't much stuff in the thing. You know, you pick out your stuff, right? So I'm going, oh boy, this might have been a mistake. And then I see this guy, and he comes up and he says, what do you have? And I'm like, well, I'll have a roast beef and this. And then the guy just stops right there before he even asks me what bread. And he turns to the kitchen. And he says, hey, the guy that ordered the meatball sub, he left. And I'm like, oh man, what did I get myself into? So this guy's obviously shaken up, right?
Yeah, he's mad.
He's not happy. So they got a meatball sub there, and the guy just, the other guy comes out and just takes it away, and I don't know what he did with it. And then the guy comes back to me, what kind of bread do you want? And he starts putting this stuff on. And then as I'm getting to the end, this guy just seems like he's getting more frazzled as he's thinking about it.
Well, he's a sandwich artist.
Well, I get that, I guess, but, the sandwich, he's not a very good artist.
Okay,
if he's a sandwich artist.
Stick
right.
figures.
Yeah, it left a little to be desired. So he looks at me as we get up to the cash register, and he goes, why does everybody have a craving for Subway late at night? And I'm like, well, dude, it's not that late. It's 7:15. I'm not you. He goes, but I've been working here a while, and about 9:45 every night, right before we close at 10, there's a line for people who crave Subway late at night. Why do they do that? I'm like, well, I don't know, dude. I don't crave Subway. I wasn't craving Subway. I just saw you were open. It was quick. I know. No. But that's just, yeah.
Have you ever craved a Subway?
Never have.
Isn't it more of a convenience?
That's all it was last night. Then the guy stumbling around for the thing, and he said, you want a drink? How about some chips? Sure. It gets all that, takes him forever to ring it up. And it was just, it was one of those things. But after a while, I'm thinking, this dude's head is about to explode.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the hell out of here.
And he was making your food.
He was.
But right in front of you.
It was in front of me, but I'm thinking, it's kind of like the honey bun. Do I really want to eat this? Because it didn't look that great. I'll be honest with you. So
how did it taast?
Well, it was okay. It was fine. Yeah, it was fine.
And any
But dude, do I look like a psychologist or what? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe thought.
I mean, your likability score is very high for a reason.
Maybe that's it. But this guy was just, he was throwing up all over me about his issues about people who crave Subway late at night.
Well, again, you were in there in his moment, and you wanted the roast beef. Did you want it toasted?
No, I wasn't going to.
You made it easy for him.
I wasn't going to put this guy through anything unnecessary. All right, just make the sandwich and go. And then it's like I didn't even get much of the other stuff on. I just say, hey, squirt some mustard on there. I'm going to get out of it. That's great.
Did you get spinach?
No, because it was like really not very good looking spinach.
I'm with you.
All right, so I kind of avoided that and some of the other things too, but. I got out of there, man. I mean, as soon as I paid, I got my change back, and this dude, woo, man, I was like, See, I feel bad for him.
And David Wayman on YouTube says, go to Jersey Mike's for a much better sub. David, you missed the point here. I mean, because Jersey Mike's is better.
Yeah, it's much better.
Firehouse is a great sub.
True.
Although there's never one near me, right? Well, I love Firehouse, but they're not around where we work or near where I live. And Jersey Mike's and Lenny's are one and the same, but Subway's just always convenient. It's kind of like Jimmy John's. I'll never walk into a Jimmy John's, but I'll call them all the time because you'll get off the phone and then all of a sudden they're calling you at the front desk. Your sandwich is there.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's possible.
Look, dude, don't compare Lenny's and Jersey Mike's. There's no comparison.
But they're the same.
No, they're not.
They are literally the same.
Jersey Mike's is much better. My problem is
they were the same. They were partners and they split.
Dude. They're not the same.
Exactly the same.
They're not. Okay, there's one on Fredericksburg Road right by the station.
Uh-huh.
But they put it in the smallest shopping center in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
And so there's never any parking to get in there. And it's a pain in the behind.
So it's not worth it. Just keep going.
Well, right. Unless you got a lot of time. Then you can squeeze in there. And
anybody
then get
going
out.
For a sandwich doesn't have time.
I don't have time. Right. So I was just I wanted to get in there and I got to get back to the station. So Subway was there.
So did you eat your sandwich in the car?
I did not. I had the chips on the way back.
Okay.
Right. But the sandwich, I'll wait because, again, I was the whole ride back, Jason. I'm wondering, I don't know if I really want to eat this sandwich. I mean, this dude was really upset, and I'm like, I saw him make it, but.
So in reality, as you walked out, because if it's the Subway I'm thinking of, Booze Hounds is right down in that same shopping center.
That's exactly right. Right.
Literally, there's a Wiener Schnitzel and a Slotsky's and an Academy across the street from where you are, and down to Lights on Pier and Vital, your Dairy Queen tacos are waiting for you.
Well, and that may have to do tonight because that's always solid. I know that's always solid. But I drive down Austin. You didn't tell me if I just take a left on Austin Highway, there's everything. There's Wendy's, there's Cane's. There's, you're sending me down this way when I should have been going the other way.
Because you said you wanted a sandwich and wanted to go to Slotsky's.
Well, now I know because
I was first trying to send you to Bibbs Barbecue, which is right there.
It was closed. It looked closed anyway.
Otherwise, I'd have sent you to Barbecue Station, which I know is closed. Because that's the best barbecue near the radio station.
Well, exactly. So anyway, I came to work a little early today and scouted myself.
Oh yeah, man. There's a Wendy's up there, a McDonald's.
Fred, I agree with you.
Chick-fil-A.
Fred just says go to Dairy Queen, and I should have learned my lesson. I'm going to that Dairy Queen every night. I'll get tacos one night, a Hunger Buster. I mean, it'll just be Dairy Queen for me from now on until retirement day.
I think there was a movie about that, although with McDonald's.
Yeah,
30
it
days
was.
of McDonald's every day.
Yeah, and that guy he wasn't in
I'm
very
glad you're
good
getting out of
shape.
the TV business because they don't care if you're fat in radio. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Spurs play the Rockets tonight. We'll get into that as we continue. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. License number 149. Whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
I can't wait to watch you guys play.
We're ready for y'all.
Let's go.
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go. Let's go.
Are you ready?
You got to go out there every play and earn it.
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star.
I like it.
We're serving up all the biggest games you can handle.
Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Get all the action live on San Antonio Sports Star.
180. Wait up.
ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible at Staples.
I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect.
Also possible. Your local Staples store can help your business navigate the future of work with custom printed sales and marketing materials. Now get 25% off custom printed labels, postcards, flyers, brochures, and more when you spend $60 or more. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/29 in store only. See staples.com/print for details.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmett's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Start now with a free consultation at QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call today. 571-0318.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio, has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube Live, we certainly appreciate that. Like Daryl King, he writes on YouTube Live, sorry we can't stay open that late. David from Zito's.
Well, David, maybe you ought to consider it because apparently the Subway's getting all the business they can handle at 9:45.
Apparently the good sandwich places, the not that Subway's not, but they realize they don't make enough money after 8 or after 7 or whatever it is. But we took the whole crew over there yesterday for lunch. Everybody went to lunch but Reinagel.
Well, I had lunch yesterday. I just didn't go with you guys.
I know, but we were planning on it. Went over there. The half serious at Zito's is fantastic. Pledge got the large pastrami and then went back for a second one.
That'd actually be a good place to go before I come to work. I can throw it in the refrigerator and I'm ready to go.
It would be. Although when you do that, if you pack your lunch or take your lunch, do you still want it when it's time to eat?
Well, it depends. It depends on what it is. If it's a good sandwich, sure. But if I have to heat it up again, probably not.
No, I mean, it's like all the people that meal prep.
Right.
Like when my niece was living with us and, I'd cook all kinds of meat for her on a Sunday and she'd meal prep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, by Thursday, how do you even know that's what you want?
Well, I did that and you don't want it by then, but you're involved and you're invested and so you eat it. I got sick of chicken because when I was doing that, when I lost a bunch of weight, I was eating chicken and rice and spinach. Or chicken and rice and broccoli, or chicken and rice and whatever, and that was just about every meal. And so, yeah, I mean, after a while you get sick of it, but it works.
True.
So that's why you do it.
You're not eating for enjoyment.
No,
that's what it boils down to. But I know if I were to pack my lunch and bring it in, or like you, stop somewhere, get some food that I know I'm going to have for dinner later, when it's time to eat it, that's not what I want. I'm going to have a different craving and that's just going to sit there.
The difference is you get to go home for dinner or meet your wife somewhere for dinner. I don't get to do that yet. Yet.
Coming soon. When retirement is there. Just so you know.
My Subway guy's going to miss me.
Just you'll never go back to that place.
I will never go back.
He's going to miss you whether you're going back to work and retiring or not.
I just hope the guy's okay.
We're having pork chops and rice and gravy for dinner tonight, just so you know. So whatever you decide, it's going to be there. Spurs start a long homestand tonight. Interesting after that long 7-game road trip. Spurs only play 1 game outside of Texas and 2 road games over the next 28 days before the rodeo road trip. It's kind of crazy.
That's good. It has been a weird schedule for them this year. It really has, because they just came off a 7-game road trip. And now you've got a 7-game homestand, which really is 12 of the next 14 games are inside the AT&T Center. So if they're going to get healthy, if they're going to make a push, then now's the time to do it, right? And they've got the Houston Rockets tonight. And I don't think they really need to be healthy for that. They may or may not be, we understand, right? Some of these guys may pass their if they get a positive or negative COVID test, the guys that have been out, Derek White, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Dougie McBuckets, Trey Jones. If they get a negative test, they could be available tonight.
Which is interesting because Derek, Devin, and Keldon, according to Jeff McDonough of the Express News on Twitter, they could clear protocols, but typically Pop gives them a little bit more time to condition.
Right.
I don't think he has that luxury right now just for the need of warm bodies. Jeff McDonald also tweets out, not sure if this has been tweeted yet by the Spurs, but Drew Eubanks is out. He's got a stomach bug, not COVID. Maybe he was having dinner last night with Ryan Nagel, but he's out with the stomach bug, and that stuff is going around. It's there. But I look at this San Antonio Spurs team now that we're in January. Only 15 wins on the season. Pop is getting closer and closer to the record. But this team has been playing outside of the COVID time frame, good basketball. They're one game outside of a playoff spot right now. And as an organization, at what point does Pop and the brass decide what are they going to try to do? Do they pull the reins back and send guys to the G League? Like Primo is headed back to the G League. We know that's going to happen as the bodies come back healthier. And Pop talked after the last game that he needs that time to develop, even though he's played well at the NBA level. But at the same time, do they hit the gas pedal and go for it and try to get more than just a play in, or do they pull things back and chase lottery balls?
Of course they go for it. No, again, we're having this conversation. We've had it all year with some people who think the Spurs need to tank and they need a top draft pick, and all of that's going to be great, and they will probably get that anyway. However, you don't tank. Okay, stop with the tanking. Stop with the pulling back the reins. You don't do that. Of course, they're going to go for it. They're going to get all their horses back. If not tonight, very soon. They're at home for a long time. You got to go for it. There's an opportunity for this team to make the playoffs. And what better experience for these young guys? Is it better experience to have them pull the reins back? First of all, you're not going to be able to do that with those young guys.
True.
Or is it better to have them get a little playoff experience? Of course it's better. I'll answer the question for you.
Thanks, Joe.
To get playoff experience. So stop with the tanking, Michael Jimenez.
I'm not on Team Tank.
Okay.
Or what was the other word? A soft tank?
A soft tank.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
It doesn't mean anything.
They just make stuff up. But I look at, if the difference is getting the 9th or 10th and you're in that play-in, I would rather not and guarantee myself the lottery. If I can work my way up to 7 or 8 and get a full playoff experience, I'm down for that. Does that make sense?
Well,
I'm not making that decision in January. That's something mid-March, depending on how things are going, because this team, quite frankly, even though they're 15 and 25, is playing better than I think most people thought they were going to play. Because I think I had them at 32 or 34 wins, something like that at the beginning of the year. I didn't think they would get to win 15 this soon. I was wondering when we would get to Pop's record. If we get there late March, hell, they might get there mid-February.
Well, I mean, it could be because, again, they've got a favorable schedule coming up, with at least being at home, and they're going to get their guys back. Their guys will be rested. But I want to go inside the locker room with Coach Minix.
Okay.
You get to March and you're teetering on that 10th spot or not making the playoffs. What is your speech to your players?
I don't tell them a damn thing.
Well, what do you do?
I put players like Bryn Forbes in the game with 2 minutes to play.
Well, they're doing that now
in a tight game when certain matchups are guys that don't play any defense, and then they're out there in clutch situations. So it's not, hey guys, I want you to play hard for 3 quarters. No, you're not giving that speech to your guys. But sometimes with who's playing and who is not tells you how hard they're really trying to win, doesn't it?
I'm not sure it does. So you're saying Bryn Forbes is not going to go out there and play hard?
No, but he's not going to go out there and play defense.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're not going to. I mean, you're still going to have guys like Derek White and DeJounte Murray and Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. Those guys are going to go out and play hard. Even if Bryn Forbes is in there and he screws up a defensive play or 2 or 10, it doesn't matter. These guys are going to go play hard, and they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I really do.
Well,
it's going to be in the playoffs.
Wait a minute.
It's going to be in the playoffs.
Come on, Joe. They're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
They will make the playoffs.
All right, now they will make the playoffs.
They will make the playoffs.
And the 6 o'clock hour, maybe. I mean, I'm
telling you right now.
Inside of one sentence, you change your mind.
You can. Okay, well, I'm going to rewind things. Okay, they will make the playoffs.
All right.
Okay, they have too much young talent. Too much young talent to not make the playoffs. And you cannot turn a switch and put in Bryn Forbes for, 5 minutes and then all of a sudden, not make the playoffs. So it's either all the way or it's nothing. And with this team, with these young guys, it's all the way. They will make the playoffs.
I look at this team and the way they're playing, the way DeJounte has been playing especially. I still want to see a lot more consistency out of Keldon Johnson.
Of course.
But this team, and again, they're 10 games under 500.
Right.
We do a thing called silver and black linings because we're not looking for wins. You're looking for the small victories within the game because coming into the year, we know they're not going to be a great team. They're not going to be a championship team. They're not going to be a playoff team, but they're playing their way into maybe they are a playoff team. And I do agree with you. If you can get to the 7th seed, I just don't.
They're not going to get to the 7th seed. They're going to be in the play-in games.
Well, I mean, dude, they're 5 games out. You go on a little bit of a streak. Somebody hits a COVID bump, and you never know.
Well, that's
what I look at. They're 5 games out, 6 games out of being in that 7th seed right now. So while I don't see that happening, if this team gets on a run, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. Does that make sense?
Well, of course, but that's the variable, if you will, is COVID this year, because you just don't know. I mean, with the Spurs, all of their young stars are out right now with COVID, and that's hurt them. Doug McBuckets has been out for a long time. He must have really had it pretty bad because he's been out for a long time, and so it's going to be good to get him back as well. And
that's what I mean. These guys, they go through it. And it seems like, and they're all vaccinated, but whatever the current protocols are, they're going to be in that window where you shouldn't expect to see a lot of these guys dealing with COVID again this year, right? I mean,
you would hope so.
They hit them all at once. You take this beating while it's going on, but as these guys come back, if you're the pop in the coaching staff, you're not as much worried about COVID as you are a sprained ankle that could keep some guys out, right? Like it kind of feels like they've all gone through it at this point. At least their main guys have gone through it.
Well, that's all. Yeah, you're always worried about that, right? And that can happen to anybody, to any team. I mean, some of these good teams can lose good players, a Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. I mean, that poor guy's had some rotten luck.
Yeah, yes.
So I mean, you just never know what's going to happen as you move forward. But I think this team, you can't pull back and say, we're not going to make the playoffs and we're going to try to not make the playoffs. It just doesn't work that way. And this whole tanking business in professional sports,
it pisses Joe off.
It does. And I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Now, maybe there's some teams, the Houston Rockets. Now, they may be the poster child for tanking. That's why I don't think the Spurs are going to need anybody tonight to beat that team. They should win with the guys that they have. However, I just don't buy this whole tanking thing, especially with the San Antonio Spurs squad and Greg Popovich. I just don't think he's wired that way.
I look at the San Antonio Spurs and tonight's game against Houston. There's very few teams that the Spurs should show up and just beat. And when I think about where the Spurs are and where the Rockets are, you're right. The Spurs should win this game tonight with no problem. But it's this Spurs team, so there are no guarantees. They're just not. 656 ESPN, 656-3776. Let's go to the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. It's been a while. Eastside Ray, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm a diehard Spurs fan, but, man, it's been over the past 20-some-odd years that everybody's used to them winning and going in the playoffs. That time that's coming past. We got to come to reality is like they're going to have to rebuild in the next 5 years. So, I love my Spurs, but, being a true fan, but then being a realist, you got to realize, hey, man, they're not going to win. Hey, besides, like the new show on YouTube, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Eastside Ray calling in. If you want to participate, you can as well on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. And I think, just being realistic as Spurs fans, this isn't a championship team.
No.
We know that. Nobody is saying that. Most Spurs fans, because of how we've been trained for the last 20-something years, know that, being a second-round playoff team doesn't matter. We're not going and lining up at Academy for a Southwest Division championship hat and T-shirt. That isn't happening. But with this group, if it's within reach, go get it, because I'm with you. If you can get into a legit 7-game first-round series, I don't know that I want to be anything to do with being in a play-in one-and-done type situation like they were last year, because I don't think that does you any good except cost you ping pong balls. And that is where I believe Michael Jimenez is coming from. Looking for the greater good. A one-game play-in tournament doesn't do you anything, but it does cost you ping pong balls. That's not worth it for playoff experience.
Well, I look back, and I'm old enough to remember Tim Duncan, and the Spurs didn't have the greatest number of ping pong balls at that particular time. I believe the Boston Celtics had that.
They did.
They already had Tim Duncan jerseys ready to go.
Yes, they did.
And it bounced the Spurs' way. There's no guarantee that you're going to get anything when it comes to the ping pong balls. The issue is with the NBA, typically, if you've got a Spurs team at 15-25, they're already done.
Yeah.
This year, no. Because there are really, other than Phoenix and Golden State, and I guess you could throw Utah in there, and Memphis. Memphis may be the best team in the league right now. However, after that, there's a lot of room for movement. The Lakers are playing horrible basketball.
Both LA teams.
Both LA teams, right? You got the Timberwolves ahead of you. You got Portland, who is Jekyll and Hyde. They're 16-24, and they're in the 10th spot. Minnesota 20-21, and you got the Lakers one game over 500. So there's a lot of room to grow there. And the teams behind the Spurs, I don't see any of them making a run.
No,
I really don't.
I mean, Sacramento. Spurs are ahead of Sacramento, but technically they have one more win right now, 16 to the Spurs 15, but they've played more games. Pelicans are a dumpster fire. Oklahoma City, I don't know what's worse than a dumpster fire. And then you have the Houston Rockets that are 3 times worse than a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire that keeps adding kerosene. But so, yeah, I don't know, other than maybe Sacramento, nobody going on a run that could unseat the Spurs out of the 11th spot. Could the Spurs, though, jump up and pass Minnesota and Portland and then get in the 8th, and then whatever's happened? I do expect the Lakers to try to figure things out and move up. And that's kind of where you're at with this Spurs team. But when I think about the Spurs and the rebuild, draft obviously is going to be important, but they've got to have buckets of money, which they will have available, and somehow attract free agents. And then that will accelerate the rebuild. And about the time the Spurs are back to being good where we expect them to be, the roller coaster of the NBA teams tells you Phoenix's run, Utah's run, Golden State's run. If they can't keep all those guys together, they're going to fall back to the pack. And can the Spurs be built up enough when they're coming back down? Can the Spurs move up?
Well, of course they can. And again, it gets back to the argument, and Ray was right. I mean, they are rebuilding, but I think they're going to slip into the playoffs anyway. Even though they are rebuilding, they're going to make it because of the way it works right now. And instead of 8 teams, you have 10 teams now that get in the playoffs. You've got the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seed playing in that play-in tournament.
You look at,
they're going to get in by accident.
Well, that's it. You could trip into the playoffs, and
exactly.
And nobody's going to be mad if that happens. You saw that this year with the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. They're not a playoff team. They're rebuilding. And because the powerful NFC East gets 2 teams in, Philadelphia's in the playoffs. Nobody is mad in Philadelphia that their team made the playoffs, even if they get bounced this weekend, because it's an unexpected surprise. And I think right now in January, I can't get mad at somebody that says, yeah, we're not going to make the playoffs, because mentally they're trying to set themselves up to say, see, I told you so, or not get disappointed if they don't. But when they do trip into the postseason, and Reinagel is guaranteeing they're a playoff team,
yes,
that nobody's going to be upset when that happens.
And when I say
but
playoff,
we're not going to
team,
go honk on Commerce.
When I say nobody wants you to do that, I promise. When I say playoff team, I'm talking the play-in tournament.
Yeah,
they're not going to move all the way up to 6. Okay, it's not going to happen. All right. It could. It's a
possibility. On the parade, man. Stand by it, man. Home court, man. Try for the 4.
Well, no, I've got an extra shot there. I mean, with the play-in thing, so my guarantee is a little better. But they're rebuilding and they're getting the opportunity to start playing together and start playing better basketball. They've got a golden opportunity with the next 12 ball games out of the next 14 that they're going to have at home, and it all starts tonight against a Houston Rockets team that they should handle. Even without everybody, you get everybody back after that, and this team hopefully will go on a little bit of a run.
Let's go back to the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. Jeff, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Love the show. I wanted to weigh in as a Rockets fan because I'm in these dire straits of rebuild mode, all this stuff. I feel like there's a fine line between being naive and being hopeful. And I hear these terms thrown around like 5 years to rebuild, right? Maybe I think Ray said that number or something. I've heard it before. Is there like a real palpable number that people can have that's like, hey, it only takes X amount of years to do that rebuild?
Well, it depends on, Jeff, appreciate the call, whose process you're willing to trust. I mean, because when you think about a 5-year rebuild, which to me is too long, 2 or 3 years, and again, 5 years for the rebuild to be complete, think about how long a rookie contract is. The New Orleans Pelicans drafted a guy named Zion, and they're worse now than before they drafted him.
Well,
right?
the guy can't stay on the court.
Well, he can't stay on the court. So has that set their rebuild how far back? And when he goes on to somebody else, Anthony Davis, same kind of thing. There, you've got to, you can have a plan just like everybody else. Like Jeff, I'm sure you have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan for your home, for your work, all of that. I think that's what he's saying, man. Don't mince words over it.
Well, the problem is you hit the nail on the head. You made a great call. You go, you get the ping pong balls, you get the guy you want, and then he never sees the floor. And your whole thing is out the window. I mean, it's crazy. So I don't know, man. I think this Spurs team is going to be better than people think. Quicker than they think.
They already are. We'll talk Jane Slater with the NFL Network about the Cowboys when we come back here on the Blitz. If you're having issues at the house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, there's one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quartermoon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online, quartermoonplumbing.com. Jane Slater joins us next after Sports Center from James Pledger.
For some reason, that was off, but we'll start things off in the NBA, where the Spurs return to action tonight against those Rockets. San Antonio's 15-25, lost 3 straight and 7 of their last 8, while the Rockets are 11-31 and have lost 3 straight as well, but they're also just 4-18 on the road this year. Tip-off for tonight's game from the AT&T Center, set for 7:30, and of course, Game Night San Antonio helps to get you ready for it at 6:30 on the Blitz. In college hoops, the 19th-ranked Texas Tech Red Bears got their second straight big win to open up conference play as they knocked off top-ranked and previously undefeated Baylor 65-62. Tech is now 12-3 and 2-1 in the Big 12 and return to action tomorrow against Oklahoma State. The Texas A&M Aggies continue their great start to the season, improving to 14-2 and 3-0 in the SEC as they've now won 7 straight with a 67-51 win over Ole Miss last night. Henry Coleman III led the Aggies with 18 points and 6 boards, while the 21st-ranked Texas Longhorns bounced back from the loss to Oklahoma State over the weekend, beating the Oklahoma Sooners 66-52, improving to 13-3 and 3-1 in the Big 12. Andrew Jones led the way with 22 points for the Horns in the win. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
A new year comes with new excitement, new ambitions, new milestones. Is this the year you pop the question, have a child? Celebrate a major anniversary. At Diamonds Direct, we're here for you, now more than ever. With our vast selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds, our world-renowned designer jewelry collections, our industry-leading warranties and guarantees, and our people. People with a passion for helping you mark any occasion with something that's both meaningful and timeless. And our commitment to providing exceptional value is stronger than ever in the new year. Whether you're just starting out on a tight budget or whether you're splurging on that 30th anniversary gift, Diamonds Direct will make sure you get the price that you expect from America's premier direct diamond importer. Welcome to a new year and welcome to Diamonds Direct, where extreme value combines with the ultimate luxury shopping experience to create that truly magical moment for the milestones in your life. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Conterre.
Are you thinking about selling your car? Don't get tricked with 2-minute offers only to spend 4 hours at a dealership. I want you to check out my friends at Car Zeus. It's Rudy J here. Car Zeus is not a dealership, so you don't need to worry about shady sales tactics just to lure you in the door. I'm talking about saving you time and hassle. Simply fill out a form about your car's condition at carzeus.com, and a local agent will text you an offer during business hours. No obligation. Plus, they pay the same day and even provide a courtesy Lyft ride home. That's carzeus.com.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Viva Fitness! Fiesta Fit Fest is coming to San Antonio, April 8th through the 10th. Get geared up to party and celebrate all things fitness. Headlined by Letap San Antonio, a Tour de France cycling event. Cyclists of all ages. The Letap San Antonio, presented by HEB, is for you. Celebrate the only Tour de France amateur cycling event in the U.S. in 2022. Register today at fiestafitfest.com. Sponsored by HEB, Thomas J. Henry, Michelob Ultra, Valero, University Health, and Expel.
Get the latest on what's happening on the NBA hardwood.
Behind the back dribble to the rim and the flush.
Right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Soon to be on 103.3 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagle. Cowboys, Niners. Sunday, playoff time. Let's talk about it. Jane Slater from the NFL Network joining us now. She covers the Cowboys. Does it got that playoff feel around the facility, Jane?
I've got the Cowboy feel because I landed in COVID quarantine this week.
Why?
Yes. I was actually, breaking news for you guys. I was on my way to New Orleans to do a sit-down feature with the Saints, and I got my booster shot, 2 weeks ago and was pretty sick. I don't recommend doing a flu shot and the booster shot all at once. That was good times. So I thought that I just had, I think I was even on your show talking about it. It's mountain cedar. I've got the sniffles. I'm tired, whatever. And so we get tested once a week, even with our booster shots in the league. And right as I'm packing last night, getting ready to go to New Orleans, lo and behold, I get a PCR test that says I'm positive. So what does that mean for us reporters? Well, I submitted the sample on Saturday. So we have the 5-day window. So I have to go get an antigen test now on Thursday afternoon. And if I am negative, then I get to cover the playoffs. If I'm not, then I'm out of this one.
Interesting. And it's because now you're going through it. You've been through it, covering these players that are on the list, they're off the list. We got our deal for the NFL this week about the Super Bowl testing and all that kind of stuff. And, now, I guess the good news is you just moved into your new house, so you got plenty of time to stay at home and get it all set up, right?
Not so much. I'm actually sitting in my condo with a bunch of boxes and bubble wrap. So, I guess in theory I can do that today and this afternoon, but I've been so busy getting an air conditioning unit installed because that's one of the new things. Trying to figure out when I can move in because not until the Cowboys are eliminated. So yeah, it's just been an absolute joy here in the month of January, guys. But to your point, I understand the frustration, of these head coaches and these players because while I tested, positive for COVID, because these PCR tests are pretty sensitive, which I guess is good if you want to, make sure that people are healthy. And I get all of that. So I'm not sitting here saying I don't understand it, but I feel fine. But the league won't let me leave my home to go work out or do any of the things until I test negative tomorrow. So, as a player, I can imagine how frustrating that is, that you're just sort of sitting around waiting on your negative test in order for you to get back to it when you legitimately feel fine. So that's what I have a deeper appreciation. I had COVID before, and it wasn't, I never lost my sense of taste or smell and only knew I had it because of an antibody test. But I definitely understand how Aaron Rodgers and guys like that feel when, you feel like you could go play. And, I was certainly able to work from home today and do TV, but not be around the facility or around others.
Well,
so, kind of interesting to be able to at least go through it and sort of understand what they're going through.
Boy, and it is crazy. And I know we're talking NFL, but, here in town with the San Antonio Spurs, DeJounte Murray came out the other day and said something he shouldn't have said on TV, but very critical of the protocols that the NBA has in place because he tested positive and then felt fine, and they wouldn't even let him go to an empty gym and work out while, the Spurs were out of town and playing games. So the frustration has got to be real for all of these pro players, that's for sure. Luckily for the Cowboys, it looks like everybody's recovered and they're back and ready to go, and that's good news.
Nice segue there. Yes. The good news is that they're getting Tyron Smith back, Micah Parsons. The only one I think that's been held out at this point is Jaron Curse, which is a little concerning because his is taking longer than others. There's certainly people who've had it worse than others. I felt like Dan Quinn had it pretty significant. Zach Martin, CeeDee Lamb said he couldn't even smell candles. Remember that? And I think that was the Delta variant, not the Omicron, because that was, a little bit earlier in the year. So it's certainly something that, for some, it lingers harder. And like I said, I've had 2 vaccinations and a booster shot, but you do worry about, these bigger guys like, Tyron Smith, although I would submit, and you've seen him at camp, Jason.
Yeah.
The guy, probably one of the fittest large men you've ever seen. But, there's even been, I think we talked about this a little bit last week, to borrow a George Bush term, strategery. There's been a strategic approach by some of these teams too, because, what if you get into the playoffs and you're missing your quarterback because he hasn't had it yet? I'm proof that even though you're vaccinated and you've received your booster, that you can still get it. And then based on the protocols, you have to sit for 5 days until you can test out. And that's if you're asymptomatic. And I haven't had any symptoms. So, Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's been very, very interesting, but that is good news for them. This is about as healthy as this team will be, heading into the playoffs.
It really is. And Jane, and your proof as we visit with Jane Slater from the NFL Network. You obviously working from home, so I guess you were home quarantined on Monday. We were doing our show at the Roo Pub. They've got these, just visualize this, 3 170-inch massive televisions with your face all over them all Monday during our show. Working from home.
Admittedly, I looked a little tired on Monday.
Imagine yourself 170. It's like movie screen size, Jane. You'd love this bar. But I mean, you look at it, they're getting ready for this big Cowboy game. And what I find interesting, and it might have started with Michael Irvin, who said worst possible matchup for the Cowboys. And a lot of other articles have been spun off of that. Do you see it that way for this Cowboys team, that drawing the Niners is the worst possible matchup for Dallas?
I think what's concerning about them is their rushing attack is one that I would be concerned about. And then I would be, I'd be concerned about the Cowboys' ability to run the ball on this team. I mean, this team is 9-0 when they're able to run the ball 30 or more attempts. And Mike McCarthy talked about that today. And you do that because you need a lot of attempts in order to put up 100 or more against this team. In the last 9 games, they've only had one team put up 100 or more, and that was Seattle, and that's their last 9 games. And so I think that that's a little bit concerning. And then when you just look at this defensive front that they've got, I mean, Nick Bosa is a guy that Mike McCarthy pointed out today. He said the only number you need to look at is his quarterback hits. He has 32 quarterback hits this season and 15.5 sacks. And then going back to the rushing attack, they use all sorts of guys in their run game. Deebo Samuel is a dual threat for you. And then you look at what Elijah Mitchell was able to do. I think between the two, they had 132, look at my notes. I think they had 132 yards between the two last week. And then when you look at this porous run defense the Cowboys have featured, that's a genuine concern.
Jane, when you look at the Cowboys, and I know they played well in the last game against the Eagles and scored 50-plus points, and I get all that, and they wanted to do that to try to find a rhythm. But when you look at this team and you're around this team, especially, after that Arizona game, they're saying all the right things. But is this a confident team heading into the playoffs?
I think they are. I mean, I don't get the sense that this team gets too high or too low. And they're lucky that it's at AT&T Stadium, right? Like, I think this would be a different situation if we were talking about them going to the West Coast in San Francisco. But I think the one thing that really, really stands out to me, we talked about this Eagles game, and I even said to you, of course this Cowboys team is expected to win this one. And of course that offense was expected to be rolling. They didn't have anybody playing, Jason. I mean, we're talking about 4th and 5th string backs playing, and their rookie Kenneth Gainwell, he had 78 yards on 12 carries and a touchdown. He was averaging 6.5 yards per carry. That's concerning. And then I just found my number on Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel. They had 130 yards on the ground and a touchdown against the Rams. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what stands out for me is the 49ers and the coaching staff in particular, especially having, a familiarity with Dan Quinn and his defense. I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan, I think is what's, interesting and intriguing about this game. I said it all year. I think that this team has all of the talent. It's just, can they put it together? And I mean, that run defense and this team's ability to run the ball, I think is what concerns me the most about the Cowboys heading into this game.
And this team's ability to run the ball, as we visit with Jane Slater of the NFL Network here on the Blitz, is it on the offensive line or Zeke? Because there were some plays the other night against the Eagles where Zeke just looked like he didn't have the explosiveness anymore. It just wasn't there. He had some lanes. He just didn't burst through them like we've seen him do in the past.
The thing with, and I'd have to have our research department deep dive into this, but when Zeke is successful is going back to the amount of attempts. In other words, you have to get him going early, and he's got to get a lot of carries in order for him to be an efficient running back. And so I think you almost point the finger a little bit to Kellen and Dak, because we've talked about this season. Dak is checking out a lot at the line of scrimmage. I know there's been internal frustration with Kellen that they haven't run the ball as much. And whispers around the building that, when you're auditioning for head coaching candidacy as an OC, you're throwing the ball a lot. And so I've heard whispers that there's a frustration about that. And so Zeke has said that he's about as healthy as he's been, and I think he's really battled it out. I do think that there's a little bit more burst with Tony Pollard, but I've talked to people internally that say that this team is better when they're both out there and you're both getting them carries. And so I think that the problem is just really finding that flow early and finding that balance early. And I don't know how easy that is going to be to establish that early on against this 49ers team, because I just look at how they struggled against teams like the Cardinals and against the Raiders and, a couple of these teams as of late. I mean, they've been beating up offensively teams like Washington that was decimated by COVID and, beating up an Eagles team. I get that you feel good about them putting up a 50 burger, which, by the way, I hate the use of the burger.
Come on, 50 burgers, sweet. They did that 2 of the last 3 weeks. 50 burgers.
Oh, it just drives me nuts, and then I did it. You put up 50. I know that there's reason to get excited. Oh, there's the chemistry. There's there's that offensive spark. They weren't playing anybody. They're missing their top corner, their 2 safeties. Defensive line didn't really have anybody. So I just don't know what you glean from that other than they were able to get a higher seeding, which was that a good thing or not a good thing when you're playing the 49ers?
Well, last Monday.
It's relatively healthy. And, you do at least, I guess, feel like you got into an offensive rhythm. So there you have it. I don't know still what to make of this Cowboys team. I don't.
Well, I think that makes everybody that is a Cowboy fan or follows the Cowboys for sure. But Jane, I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, but I've got to tell you, this is about the sexiest first round playoff matchup that you could imagine. I mean, we've gone back 40 years talking about Joe Montana and the catch and then, Steve Young. And it's just been a great history lesson, I think, for maybe younger Cowboy fans to know the history of this rivalry. So I think no matter what happens on Sunday, I'm looking forward to this football game.
What's funny is because I've got phoners, we do it with opposing teams every week because I've got Saturday and Sunday coverage on NFL Network. There's my plug. But I am curious if these kids, because that's what they are even familiar with the history, because a lot of them wouldn't have even been born, which is crazy to think about, right? Like,
yep.
They weren't around for those. So, yeah, I mean, I certainly remember growing up in the 49ers rivalry and what a big deal it was. I love that, people are putting out the videos of, George Teague and Terrell Owens when all of that happened with the star. But yeah, I do think that there is absolutely some of these kids on these teams that really don't have a reverence for the history. I think that there's football nerds on these teams, probably guys like Micah Parsons or Trayvon Diggs that really get into it. But I don't know if some of these younger guys really care.
That's true.
And so I always find that interesting with some of these guys. I don't know if they're like, there's not a lot of Sean Lees on some of these rosters these days that just live, breathe, and are obsessed with football and the history of it,
Very, very true. Well, Jane, here's to you getting a negative test and being able to cover the game in person on Sunday and working all day Saturday on the NFL Network with all your coverage. I would say feel better, but you feel fine. But get better, get negative.
I just have that, what is that from Zoolander? It's like, merman. merman.
Jane, always appreciate it. Get better.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Jane Slater from the NFL Network. And again, she'll have coverage all weekend long, either from her living room or from the stadium.
Wow, that's got to be frustrating.
You know it is.
It is. It's got to be. And she's the best there is. She knows the Cowboys. She's connected with the Cowboys organization. And I tell you what, man, it's killing her not to be around the star right now.
It really is. And I give her credit because I didn't know. And she hadn't tweeted about it, which I thought, I looked at her Twitter. Damn, she's not tweeting from the star, but I didn't think anything of it because, generally she would have stuff from the press conference today on her Twitter, but not there. But hopefully she gets negative soon, but that's what's going around with this latest variant.
And they have to test on a regular basis. As she said, it's the same with the players in all sports. And And for some, that's frustrating, especially when you test positive and you feel just fine. You're walking around like nothing's wrong, and well, you come back and guess what? You're positive. So sit down for 5 days.
That's what you got to do. I know this weekend. I mean, you think about this weekend. You've got games on Saturday. You got games on Sunday. A big weekend for grilling with playoff football games, and Tri-County Meat Market will get you ready with their wild card weekend specials. You think about what you want to throw on the grill this weekend, and you got to do it up big. It's not regular season. It's playoff time. They've got their sirloin fajitas on sale for $12.99 a pound. Cowboys and Niners. So they're Cowboy Cut Choice Ribeyes. We'll call them Dallas Cowboy Cut Choice Ribeyes at $15.99 a pound. You can go with the French Cut Choice Tomahawks at $15.99 a pound. English Cut Short Ribs, those cross cuts at $10.99 a pound. Wings are at $5.99 a pound, seasoned or not. Picanha Tri-Tip at $10.99 a pound. Choice Briskets at $5.99 a pound. You know you're going to eat well and get that great meat over there at Tri-County Meat Market. But you got to have stuff that goes with it. They've got their grab-and-go items ready to go from K4, including the twice-baked potatoes, which are incredible, the Buckaroo mac and cheese, the K4 salsas, queso, chicken salad, potato salad, cream corn. Those firecrackers are incredible. And for dessert, K4's got the best chocolate chip cookies you're ever going to eat. And if you're a little bit on the healthier side, Ryan Hagel, and it's your wife's name too, Maggie Mae's ready-to-go salads are there. Chef salad, Caesar salad, kale salad. They got Bowman's Family Farm milks. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need for this weekend's playoff games. They're locally owned and full service. They'll get you taken care of for Wild Card Weekend. Don't forget, stock up on that Pick 5 for $25. And at Tri-County Meat Market, they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders, police, firemen, EMT. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or check the website, tricountymeat.com.
Rob Thompson and Rudy J. Don't rush. It's R&R in the morning. Tomorrow morning at 7, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Was the guy driving the company van next to you too busy taking the infamous car selfie for his dating app when he wrecked into you? He's still single, but now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember how 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback. And by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Mother's Window Tint, Your Car Stereo, and Auto Security Headquarters has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Sunday, the Cowboys are digging for a win against the 49ers. Pre-game 2:30, kickoff 3:30, live from AT&T Stadium on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Jason Fitz, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Getting hungry thinking about all that meat I was just telling you about from Tri-County Meat Market for your grilling this weekend. But if you've been doing some grilling, you got a photo of that great meat on your phone, upload it at sasportstar.com. You could win yourself a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday. So tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday, right? Tomorrow, we'll give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, sasportstar.com. You know, I've heard a lot of talk, especially on R&R in the morning, about chili.
Yeah.
And the beans or no beans debate.
Right.
It's been cold. You got some chili photos? Put them up there.
Oh, wow.
Why not?
You know, chili's tough to make. I mean, it can be a good chili. It's tough because, you know, I've tried that. And then at one time I tried it. Somebody said, well, this tastes like spaghetti sauce. Right. So it's like, and so, you know,
I have to admit, I've never done my own chili. I never have.
Well, again, I don't think you do anything because I haven't seen it with my own eyes.
You've been invited, my friend.
Yeah.
It's kind of like lunch. Joe, we're all going to lunch. We're a new team. Yeah, I'll go. And then it's time to go to lunch. Well, I got to either go with you boys or go see my wife. I'm going to see my wife.
Every time, buddy.
You know, on Sunday,
Every
hey,
time.
man, I'm doing steaks. All right, man, I'll be there. Oh, man, next time.
I was in Houston.
Next time. next time. Don't say you've never been invited. It's one of those things. On your chili, though. And again, I've never done chili.
Okay.
Beans or no beans?
No beans.
So you're a no bean guy.
No beans.
Pledge is a no. Now, if I'm opening a can of Wolf Brand, it's going to be no beans. But that's generally going on hot dogs or something, right?
Right.
I don't care one way or the other how you make your chili. Beans, no beans. As long as it's good, I don't care what you've got in there, except grape jelly.
Grape? Who does that?
Were you there at training camp in Oxnard? I don't want to name names. David Smoke from Bear Sikkim 365 Radio. He was at ESPN Waco for a long time. You know, every year during training camp, Smokey always does a pot of chili or does something out there. And was it 2 years ago, we're sitting out there, and he's very proud of his chili. Me and Rob are eating it going, man, hey, man, what's in your chili? I got this and this and this and grape jelly.
Grape jelly.
And at that point, out of the corner of my eye, I see Rob Thompson throwing his in the trash can.
Well, can you taste the grape jelly, though?
It didn't taste like grape jelly, but there was something in it that was giving it a weird flavor profile that was like, what the hell is this?
Because, you know, you cook sometimes with stuff and you can't taste it.
Well, it's always your leftovers, right? That's what's going in your chili, right? I mean, you got a little this and a little that.
A little,
you know, your beans. Listening to Rob, who makes a mean chili, cumin is the secret.
That's the good stuff, huh?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I really don't have a recipe for it, but me and a bunch of friends of mine, we were in college in San Marcos. We used to cook in the Chillimpiad all the time.
Okay.
I don't even know if they still have that going on, but it was a big, huge chili cook-off, and it was great time. You really didn't care how your chili tasted.
Chili didn't matter. It was how much beer could you drink.
Well, that's exactly right, because you're out there at 6 a.m. and drinking heavy.
Yes.
And right, so you're drinking heavy the whole day, and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're passed out in the back of a pickup truck somewhere. But
Some things never change.
You made chili, and then you'd go around and taste everybody's chili, and some of it was good, and then some of it not so much, and some of it tasted like spaghetti sauce.
And yours goes over noodles pretty well. Sounds perfect to me.
Exactly.
The new head football coach of the UIW Cardinals will join us next here on the Blitz. But first, let me tell you about Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck. part of the Ancira Itonato complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira Itonato complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
It's time to get your hoops on. The NBA season is off to a fast start. North, south, east, west. Step back for three. Bang, got it. The courts are firing with board busting and rim wrecking in your face balling. Deep three straight away. Oh, we got another one. And we got it all covered. Everything a fan like you wants and then some.
Hammers a right hand dunk.
Get the latest on your game on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers, just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their three massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole, and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
A new year comes with new excitement, new ambitions, new milestones. Is this the year you pop the question, have a child? Celebrate a major anniversary. At Diamonds Direct, we're here for you, now more than ever. With our vast selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds, our world-renowned designer jewelry collections, our industry-leading warranties and guarantees, and our people. People with a passion for helping you mark any occasion with something that's both meaningful and timeless. And our commitment to providing exceptional value is stronger than ever in the new year. Whether you're just starting out on a tight budget or whether you're splurging on the 30th anniversary gift, Diamonds Direct will make sure you get the price that you expect from America's premier direct diamond importer. Welcome to a new year and welcome to Diamonds Direct, where extreme value combines with the ultimate luxury shopping experience to create that truly magical moment for the milestones in your life. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at Lock Ontario.
Live, local, loud. KZBC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. UIW has a new head football coach. Got hired over the holidays. I haven't had a chance to talk with him yet. Former San Antonio talent, G.J. Kinne, joining us now on The Blitz. Coach, when was the last time that was a way you were introduced?
Man, I don't know if ever, because I guess I signed with them, but I don't know, I was just there for a little bit.
You were there. Well, there was a year. I used to do radio for the Talents back in the day for those 3 years. And we had a season where I think in the 16 games, we had 19 quarterbacks roll through.
Yeah, I believe it.
It was one of those years. Congrats. Tell me, first off, let's talk with the introduction of accepting the job and taking over as head coach at UIW.
Yeah, super exciting. getting the opportunity to move my family back to Texas and, you know, being 33 years old and get the opportunity to be a head coach, it was an opportunity I couldn't pass on. And just, like I said, just super excited.
Hey, you know, Coach Kinne, when you look at UIW and what Coach Morris did and what they've been building since they first came, this is an up and coming program that is really starting to get some attention, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I think, you know, going through the process and talking to mentors it's a place where I know you could win. I knew that, you know, Coach Morris left the roster in good shape and a good opportunity to, you know, the foundation's been laid just to kind of build on that and you know, really have a successful opportunity here.
No, you talk about that. You mentioned mentors. How much did you talk with Jeff Traylor about football in San Antonio? Because you played for him in high school and you also have coached with him at SMU and Arkansas.
Yeah, I probably talked to him every day for the past 3 weeks, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously, Jeff is a guy that I've always, you know, like I talked about, he was my high school head coach and someone that I've, you know, kept in touch with. We worked together at SMU and Arkansas. And, yeah, like I said, talked to him probably every day for the last 3 weeks, someone I've really leaned on throughout this process.
Now, at what point, you just called him Jeff. At what point did he go from being coach as your high school coach to where you could call him Jeff?
I don't know. I don't know if I even call him Jeff to his face. I think you know.
Coach, has he always been like he is now? I mean, he really just is a likable guy with a lot of funny sayings, and has he always been that way?
Yeah, Jeff's awesome. He really is. Yeah, he's always been that way, and he's just a real guy, and I think that's what people like about him. And you know, for myself, that's what kind of some advice he gave me, just be yourself throughout this whole process. And that's what I'm continuing to do.
G.J. Kinne joining us here on the Blitz, new head football coach of the UIW Cardinals, comes to San Antonio after being with UCF down there at Central Florida as the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And again, Coach Kinne, I think about, you know, your dad is a very famous coach in the state of Texas. You played some in the NFL, played pro ball. You're a quarterback guy. What do you, when you think about this roster and what you've done in college football at 33 to now be a head coach, and you look around the landscape and we see a lot of young head coaches that played and now you're coaching. Tell me about what you expect to do over at UIW.
Yeah, I think we have an extremely talented roster. I'm excited to get in there and really get to work with these guys and get, you know, spring ball going. We're in our winter workout phase right now. So getting the chance to just be around these guys and really develop the relationships. I think that's the guys that have success, especially young guys, are the ones that are able to get in here and really develop a relationship with these guys. And you know, I know myself as a player, when I knew my coach really cared about me and he was able to coach me a little bit harder probably. And so that's what I told these guys, you know, I'm going to coach you hard, but love you harder. And that's just kind of how we'll do things around here. And I think that's the way you get success out of these players these days.
Coming in as a head football coach, when you see, and obviously you've already got a hand that's dealt, right? And you're going to be recruiting and you'll bring in your own players eventually, but this set of players is already there. You've got an offensive philosophy, a defensive philosophy. How much of that will you have to change or maybe, you know, as you go, evolve with the players that you have right now on the roster?
I think for me, obviously it hasn't been announced yet, so I'll let that you know, wait for a couple of days.
Oh, come on, man! Break news.
Break it.
But you know, I'm a common sense guy, and I think you know, we're going to keep some coaches around here. They've had a lot of success here, so we'll wait for the official announcement in the next couple of days. But there'll be some things that change and things that stay the same. And just, I think it's a player-driven deal, obviously. And so just really excited to get these guys in here and get to work.
You got some good coach speak down, that's for sure.
Thanks.
Coach Kinne joining us here on the Blitz.
I was in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia media for a while, so you know.
I get it. I know with Doug Peterson. I mean, yeah. I think about like Cliff Kingsbury went to high school in the area. I've known him for forever, and I think about all the people he's been around and all the great minds from Belichick on, and now he's a young head coach in the NFL. The list of people that you've worked with is a who's who.
Impressive.
Yeah. I think, no doubt. And I think I've been able to take a little bit from everyone, you know, just going back to my playing days with, obviously Mac Brown, something I originally signed with. Then you go to Todd Graham and you got Chad Morris, and I'm sure I'm leaving people out, Mike Norvell, and then going to the NFL, you got Chip Kelly, Ryan Day, Jeff Stoutland, Doug Peterson, just some guys I really had a chance to really grow with and learn a lot from. And, when we got to Philadelphia with the Eagles, it was really when Chip was bringing the no huddle to the NFL. He was really bringing the RPO game to the NFL. So being on the forefront of that was really cool for me as a player, and learned a lot, and the sports science that he brought, and just the way he ran a program was really cool. And obviously being around Doug Peterson back as a coach, and Super Bowl winning head coach, just been very fortunate to be around a lot of great coaches. And obviously we talked about Jeff Traylor and my father. So just been very fortunate. I definitely wouldn't be here without those guys. I know that.
Well, when you look at all of those guys, do you cherry pick some from all of them, or is there one or two of those guys that you think you'll kind of make your philosophy? And when you obviously get in there and start head coaching, one or two guys that you'll lean on more?
I think probably cherry pick. I think for me, I just, it's more about, like I said earlier, just being myself. And then also, getting outside your comfort zone a little bit and growing as a coach, and kind of taking some things from some of those different guys.
And, one of the nice things about UIW is moving to the WAC from the Southland Conference. Schedule was released today. Home games with Southern Illinois, Sam Houston, Abilene Christian, Lamar, Utah Tech, some pretty tough road trips as well. It's one thing to think about UIW as a Southland school, but as they're coming up and with what's happened there over the last couple of years, expectations are going to be extremely high. The excitement level around the school when that schedule got released today with the WAC.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. And I think I said that when I got the job, is, that was part of the reason why I wanted to take this job. It's exciting, and I wouldn't want to take a job without expectations. I think that's the fun part, and getting the opportunity to win, like that's what it's all about. And the roster for the most part is we can do that. So I'm just excited to get in there and get to work.
Coach Kinne, you spent some time in Hawaii, and I've always wanted to ask somebody this question: when Hawaii comes inland to play, I don't know, say Tulsa, I know you spent some time there. Are the Tulsa players a little bit bitter about that because they didn't get to play a road game in Hawaii?
I don't think so. It's one of those things where it's a true home field advantage when you're playing in Hawaii, but it's definitely a disadvantage when you have to come to the mainland. I know that the travel and the time difference, it's a big disadvantage. So I think people are excited when they get to play at home versus Hawaii.
It's kind of interesting. Well, I'm always thinking if I'm a college recruiter, I always want to go recruit those kids in Hawaii, on the expense account. Or if Hawaii offers you an opportunity, one of those 5 trips, you take that official visit because you're getting to go to Hawaii. All right, Coach, we've been talking too long not to ask about your quarterback. Cam Ward made the decision yesterday. He is headed to Washington State with Eric Morris. Now you're a quarterback guy. You've got to go find yourself a quarterback. Is that guy currently on your roster?
I have to get in here and really work with these guys. Mac Leftwich has done a great job with those guys, and I guess I can break that. He'll be a guy that will be staying.
I keep you on here long enough, man. You'll let it all out.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have to get to, see that, how spring ball and how spring, spring and winter workouts go, and kind of make a decision off that. We'll see.
Good stuff. G.J. Kinne, new head football coach at UIW. He's young. He's 33. Coach, as you get to know us, you're going to realize we're fun. We're not, and a lot of knucklehead questions.
Oh, I like it.
Well, maybe. I mentioned you're 33. I'm looking at our caller ID here in the studio. Are you on your mom's plan still, or is that your wife's plan?
No, I think it's my I believe it might be my mom's. I know I pay for it, but I don't know whose name pops up.
Oh, yeah, well, it says Summer.
I've had the same number since I was in 8th grade.
You've had this number since, well, because like my daughter's 23. She just graduated from Arizona State in December, and I'm trying to figure out how long she is still on the payroll. And like Mike Golick Jr., when he calls in, he's still on his mom's payroll, on his mom's phone plan. I see you here, and I'm thinking, dude, you're on your mom's phone plan still? At what point does that go away?
Well, I think she might be on mine, to be honest with you. And I think it might be a situation where, I guess just had the same number and the caller ID is the same. I don't know, to be honest with you. What's it say? Does it say Summer or Jocelyn?
Summer.
Oh, that's my wife.
That's your wife. So you're on your wife's plan. So she set it up then. She pays the bill. So you're not on your mom's plan. That's good, man.
Not on my mom's plan, no.
But same number since the 8th grade. Coach, welcome to San Antonio. Anything you need from us, let us know, man. I'm excited about UIW going into the WAC. The last couple years for college football in the city of San Antonio, with what UIW did, with what UTSA did last year. Trinity was undefeated. It was a great time for college football last season.
For sure. Yeah, we're continue that, and just excited, like I said, just to really get in here with these guys and continue to build on this foundation.
Best of luck to you, Coach. We'll be rooting for you, that's for sure.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. G.J. Kinne, head football coach of the UIW Cardinals, hits the ground replacing Eric Morrison. He's kind of like when Eric got the job. He was the OC at Tech, trying to, young, wants that head coaching experience. You saw what Eric did and the amount of recruits there, and he left the cupboard full. I know Cam Ward left, but that cupboard is full there at UIW. They've got to build on that going into the WAC.
Oh, and they will. I think it's a very attractive. What they did last year obviously is attractive to players, and I think they will. And good coaching minds, and obviously Coach Kinne, with all the talented coaches he has worked under and with and played for, man, I tell you what, he's coming in here with a great football knowledge, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
And the other part that I really like is last year, Eric Morris embraced what was happening over at UTSA with Jeff Traylor.
Yep.
And they talked a lot. And, when Eric would come on with us every week, they weren't competing against each other. And I think, there are certain groups in the fan bases that want to compete, but they're not, they celebrate each other's successes. And clearly the relationship that Coach Kinne has with Coach Traylor, I think we're going to see more of that. And that's just better for us football fans in San Antonio.
Well, there's no question about it. And they don't compete against each other on the field. And that's a good thing. Obviously, different football teams, but it's just, it was so much fun watching all of those teams have success and the success that they had this year. And so I'm looking forward to it. And when you have that, Jason, as you know, you get a guy like a Traylor, you get a guy like a Kinne, and that's what happens. It's attractive. San Antonio's attractive, and these football teams are up and coming.
And again, we know UTSA moving into the American, UIW moving into the WAC, and seeing that schedule today. And, it's going to get big. And some of those teams that they're going into the WAC with moving up as well, including Sam Houston State. So, that home game on the 24th, I got to wear one hat and one shirt and, be a little conflicted. I won't be mad no matter what happens in that game, but it's going to be a lot of fun. They've got the talent there. It's such a great time when you think about what's happening in college football in San Antonio. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. And as Joe has started his radio career, or restarted his radio career, as he's leaving television, Joe comes to work every day like a kid in a candy store.
I do.
Yeah. I mean, man, well, this, but a lot of it comes from the gym. So because Joe goes to the gym and apparently doesn't work out. He just sits around and argues with everybody at the gym. He's that guy because he's the old one in the group. So it's the get off my lawn guy with all these guys that are wrong, because that's how he started. You won't believe what we talked about today in the gym. Now he's taking notes there. Soon you might just have to whip out your phone and start taking video.
I'm going to.
Of what's going on there.
It gets animated.
It does. I can imagine.
It does.
Well, one of the topics that you guys were arguing about in the gym is worth getting animated about.
Absolutely.
How do you like your steak?
Well, that's very important, right? And so how that whole thing got brought up was there was one guy there that likes his steak well done.
Shoe leather?
Yeah. And, I'm like, well done. Are you kidding me? So, it's funny as this evolved and we're talking about it. And it's like, if you're going to, I don't know, gyms, maybe well done is okay. Nothing against gyms. Okay. But, maybe well done is okay. But if you're going to Ruth's Chris or a Morton's or a J Prime, you want to, enjoy that steak. So it was either a rare plus, a medium rare, or medium. And then after that, you just better order the chicken.
You got a lot of options in there. What about medium plus?
No.
Medium plus is fine.
That's too chewy.
No, it's not bloody. It's pink, but not bloody.
No, look, medium rare, when it's a good steak that I'm paying a lot of money for, it's medium rare because typically they'll cook it a little bit too much anyway. So you get it medium, then it ends up medium well.
Well, and at Ruth's Chris, they serve it on the plate. It's still cooking. That plate's
right?
high. Yeah.
So medium rare, and that's the way I like it. Look, I like it tender and juicy.
Well, absolutely. And again,
I'm really hungry right now. Is there a steakhouse around here on the way?
No, but we got some honey buns that have expired that are still sitting around. That's going to be your damn dinner tonight. But I mean, it is interesting when you think about how people like their steaks. Right. And I'm a temperature guy. Between 140 and 145 is perfect because I don't want to cut in and see blood. I don't want it to just start bleeding all over my plate.
Well, if a good medium rare steak won't do that. I mean, you'll have a little bit, but it's still pretty pinkish red on the inside if it's cooked right.
Yeah.
And that's just absolutely perfect because it just kind of melts in your mouth. Medium or after that, you might as well go to Buc-ee's and get beef jerky.
Oh, it's that. Well, again, shoe leather, no. But pink is fine. Little pink, no blood is fine for me. And that's the beauty. Everybody has their own way of doing it, except for the people that want well done. Well, I don't understand that the people that want their steaks well done.
I don't get it either.
Like super well done.
No.
And what's interesting? Years ago, that's how I would get my steaks.
Well done?
Because that's the way my dad would get his steaks. So I didn't know any difference. Like growing up, my dad, and granted, my dad, too many years, I think, in Vietnam, like he would put pepper on everything. Like our corn would be black. He would put so much pepper on it, right? But he would always like well done steaks. And then, so that's all I knew growing up. And then it, as I started ordering steaks and having steaks done other ways, you realize, okay, well, that wasn't I remember asking him, why do you like your steaks well done? And he was like, well, because a lot of times, especially military, wasn't sure what kind of steak I was getting. So just cook the hell out of it.
Make sure everything in it's dead.
To make sure. And I thought my dad was a great griller growing up.
Right.
And turns out, since I've started grilling and he has passed, my mom used to just say, he sucked at it. But I thought he was great at it. But my mom was like, they were well done just because they were flat overcooked all the time, which is kind of funny. But little pink is fine, but it's all on your cut too.
A little more pink. Well, and that's true.
I mean, like if you're going to like with the bone-in ribeye or a tomahawk, yeah, that thing you don't even try to overcook that.
Even a good fillet.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you can't overcook that either. And I like all kinds of steaks, right? Because a New York strip is good, a T-bone, that's good too. So, but all of them have to be the same. And those are harder to cook because typically a strip is a little thinner.
Yeah, that's going to cook fast.
Right. So you got to really be careful with that thing. But if you barbecue and you mess up, okay, you're okay. But if I'm at a nice place where I'm paying $50-$60 for a steak, it better be cooked right.
Well, and there you expect them.
You expect
to cook it right. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
But can you imagine? These guys talking about well done, going to Ruth's Chris and ordering a well done. If I'm the chef, I'm throwing you out of the place.
Yeah. Well, all right, Bobby. What is it? Is it Bobby Flay? I don't watch enough of the cooking shows.
Bobby Flay. Bobby Flay.
Some of those guys will come throw you out. The rest of them are like,
okay.
Oh, they're reaching deep into the back to go, where's that crap piece of meat that I wasn't going to serve? You get that. Cook it up for the dogs. Even your dog doesn't want a well-done steak.
Well, no, because you're chewing on it for about 10 minutes.
Well, doesn't that give you longer to enjoy it?
No, it's not enjoyable.
I'm kidding. I don't want them that way.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, if you like well-done steaks, tell us why.
Yeah, I would like to know. And I saw a comment here earlier, and I can't remember who it was, that said if you do it right, a medium well steak is just as juicy. And I must not know how to cook a medium well steak. Who is that? Rudolph.
Well, I do a lot of reverse searing on the Traeger because the one drawback of a Traeger is there's no flame hitting your meat ever, right? And so you smoke that steak, especially if it's good thick steak, but you're not getting the outer crust that I like, right? So I'll reverse sear it. And when you do that, that's sucking all those juices right back in there. And that's fantastic.
You know, and I've heard this, and you can answer this question. I know you like your Traeger, but isn't a Traeger cheating?
Well,
it's cheating.
I mean, in what way?
Well, it's not really barbecuing.
It really is.
No, it's really
barbecuing.
not. You can sit here on your phone and start your steak or your brisket or whatever right here on your phone.
I can.
And you're sitting here doing your job. That's not barbecuing.
Well, it can be.
Look, I like a good. I already told you about my Walmart special.
I know.
And you know, I can
You've
cook a
also
pretty good
said you
steak
want to
on
get
it.
a Traeger.
I do, but I want to have the option.
You know, yeah. There are certain things that I cook on my Kamado Joe, which is all flame.
That's all flame.
There are certain
That'd be
things
good.
that the Weber propane grill is perfect for.
No propane.
Well, again, for fast, the build your fire and all that, the propane is perfect for certain things.
Don't like propane.
But when you get your Traeger, you're gonna all this cheating stuff, and you non-Traeger types can bite me because, you know, at the end of the day, do you have a great meal? And is that not what you're looking for?
There's an art.
There is an art to
that goes into
controlling your
cooking.
heat on your app. I mean,
Absolute
while sitting in your
Yeah.
recliner, watching the game and getting on the app to control your temperature. There's an art to that. Even the great thermometers that you can get, like the meter thermometer, that's another thing with an app.
It's cheating.
To me, it's the rubs that you're using and all that kind of stuff becomes the art when you're dealing with the Traeger.
Well, you can still do the rubs and all the stuff and spices that you put on stuff, but then you cook it, and you have to cook it right on a flame.
You still have to cook it right.
No.
You still have to cook it right.
I just can't. Cooking on my cooking on
all right.
my Samsung Android here is not the same as cooking on a grill.
So what you're saying is, yesterday, day before, you said you want to get a Traeger.
I want a Traeger,
And
but I'm admitting it's cheating.
Okay.
So I'm going to be cheating when I have a Traeger.
There's nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
keeping my Walmart special.
Well, and
Maggie.
again, you might need. Well, again, are you trying to get a Traeger or not? Because your wife is thinking, okay, maybe for Valentine's Day he'll get a Traeger. He'll come back from the Super Bowl to a brand new Traeger. Now she's wondering, do you really want one?
Yes, I want one.
Well, are you sure?
But she hates the Walmart special that I have.
Why? Because you're worried it's going to burn down the damn house.
Well, it's just, you know, it's not very attractive, right? But it does a great job. And we were only supposed to keep that thing for one barbecue, and now we've had it for, I don't know, 2 years. But it's all I've got right now until we finish what we want to do with the backyard, and then we'll have a little cooking area and a Traeger.
You'll get your Traeger.
I will get it.
And you will love cheating. Batello Franklin, get the Traeger. It's amazing.
I know, but
Set
it's
it
cheating.
and forget it.
It's cheating.
It's not cheating. It's just a different way of accomplishing the same goal.
It's cheating.
I mean, there are people out there that if you're not using wood and you're using the charcoal briquettes, they think you're doing it wrong.
Well, I don't know who those people are.
Well,
but I'm
same
not.
people that bitch about the Traeger. I mean that's what it. I mean, even like Rob Thompson. Rob got himself a Traeger.
Yeah.
After I got mine. And he bitches about it because there is something about cooking over the open fire as part of the process.
Exactly right.
You know what he uses more? His Traeger.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it's easier. Your food comes out. I don't want to say better, but you're not going to screw up your meals too often on the Traeger.
Rob's cheating.
Are you eating well?
I don't know yet.
All I'm hearing now is Joe wants to be a cheater.
Obviously I do. I've done that all my life, you know, high school, college.
He just wants to be a cheater. Yeah. Find me the shortcut. That's Ryan Eagles' route.
That's it, baby. Give me that
That's
steak.
what it works
Medium
out
rare.
To. There you go. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250. 94.5 FM. You can go over to Sammy's Embroidery Club, get yourself a shirt that says I'm cheating and put a picture of a Traeger on there. Sammy can work that up for you. He'll get it done for you because it's not just embroidery. He can do silkscreen shirts for any occasion as well. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on any kind of gear. If you got an event coming up, you need shirts made, get into Sammy's Embroidery Club on San Pedro, especially if you need some winter gear because, it's cold outside. That winter line is on display right now. You need jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips, beanies. Sammy has them, all the big names as well. North Face, Eddie Bauer, Port Authority, Nike, just to name a few. Sam has plenty of inventory in stock as well. And if you need hats, go see Sam. He's got the largest selection of caps in town, including the popular Richardson style cap in stock. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Sammy has all the big name brands. He's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround, no order too small. Certainly no order too big. Call Sammy's Embroidery Club at 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. Go to the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club. Cowboys, Niners. First round playoff action. We'll get into it when we come back right after Sports Center with James Pledger.
Thanks, Jason. Speaking of the Cowboys and Niners, the Cowboys are nearing full health for that first round playoff game. As earlier today, both left tackle Tyron Smith and rookie linebacker Micah Parsons came off the reserve COVID-19 list. In other Cowboy news, quarterback Dak Prescott was named the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week after he went 21-27 for 295 yards and a career-high 5 touchdown passes in his win over the Eagles. It was the second time in 3 weeks that the Cowboys put up more than 50 points, and it's also the second time in 3 weeks that Prescott was named the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight as they take on the Houston Rockets. The Spurs and Rockets have both lost 3 straight going into this game, but the Rockets are just 4-18 on the road this year. Tip-off from the AT&T Center is set for 7:30. In college hoops, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, ranked 19th in the country, got their second straight big win, upsetting a previously undefeated Baylor Bears team 65-62 last night. The Texas A&M Aggies are still undefeated in SEC play and have won 7 straight as they beat Ole Miss 67-51, while the 21st ranked Texas Longhorns beat Oklahoma 66-52. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out the new Kubota L2501 package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Jason Minix here for Garageanization. If you're trying to organize your garage, you need to call Garageanization, 210-664-4494. Talk to them about shelves, overhead racks, closed storage, slat walls. You can make your garage functional for the entire family. That's what I did a couple of months ago. After we moved into the new house, I needed to figure out a way to better organize my garage, and they came out and we looked at all the different options, the budget that I wanted to spend, and found the solution. Had these incredible shelves put up, 2 6-foot industrial shelves, so they're perfect for the long-term storage items on the shelf. But they got these bars underneath that are adjustable, so you can use that space below the shelf. I love the versatility and how organized my garage is now. Think about getting both cars in the garage, the kids' bikes, your golf clubs, and all that other stuff. Garageanization can make that happy for you. They can find a way to make your garage functional for the entire family. And they're a great veteran-owned company that's been around since 2008. That's how long Garageanization has been helping San Antonians love their garage. Call them. They'll give you a customized plan for your garage. Start at the website, garageorganizationsanantonio.com. That's garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Yes, Miss Tubbs. No problem. I'll call someone about the plumbing.
One of Beatrice's properties needs a new superintendent.
The custodial team is not
Someone with handyman superpowers and a concierge alter ego.
Does anyone know any good electricians near Parkville?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo, and auto security headquarters has discounts piled to the ceiling. That's right, every store, Austin and San Antonio, and especially the Bandera Road store in San Antonio has discounts on everything. Car stereos, car alarms, and especially the window tint you want. Dark, dark, dark window tint. Also, make your car go thump, 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 mother thump with new subwoofers and an amplifier. That's right. We can even hook it up to your existing factory car stereo. Get to Mother's Window Tint today. Check us out online at motherswindowtint.com or give us a like and a follow on Facebook. Tell your friends. Come on in. We've got those discounts stacked to the ceiling at Mother's Window Tint. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
The play is in. The Blitz with Joe Reinagel and Jason Minix. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Always good when you roll back with some Foo Fighters. They got a new movie coming out.
Studio 666?
Yeah. Dave Grohl's into everything.
All right.
Including barbecuing.
Really?
He is a big pit master.
Well, I mean, he doesn't use a Traeger.
He probably does.
No.
He probably does.
He might.
I mean, I know he's got a big, like, smoker that's behind a trailer, like, during the pandemic.
Right.
Apparently, he was just rolling around Los Angeles and firing up and cooking food for firehouses and hospitals and things like that.
Very nice.
Very, very, very cool. But a lot of people, right? I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but what the hell? My buddy Grant Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Pinkerton's Barbecue. All those smokers that they have, 2-time world champion beef the last 2 years. He's won Memphis in May for beef. Asked him, what does he have at his house? He's got a couple of different smokers and he's got a pellet grill.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you can have a little bit of everything. There's nothing wrong with it.
I agree with that.
Is he using his pellet grill for competitions? Hell no.
No, because they won't let him.
Well, I mean, true.
And we know why.
Well,
okay.
Although when CPS used to do grills giving, and hopefully that is something that comes back after COVID, because I haven't done it for 2 years. And they do their grills giving is a cook-off. It's fantastic. And they ask you to be a meat judge. And you go down there and you know, all these different people and all that. You know, there's some people with smoke that really shouldn't be in competition.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I've done some barbecue cook-off judging, and there are some where you just like,
and you paid money to get into this? And I can tell you, some of that's fantastic. I can't come close.
No, you're right.
Some of that in competition, mind you, I'm pulling better meat off of my Traeger.
And you know, as well as anybody, the expressions on my face are kind of hard to hide. Right? I mean, it's just kind of hard to hide, as we discussed yesterday with the whole Airbnb in Los Angeles thing, but
which has become a story again.
Yeah, it really has. However, so if I'm eating something that's not good, you got that bad look on your face.
You can't hide it.
It's hard to hide.
When Joe's not happy, everybody knows.
Exactly. Maggie calls me a prima donna because
you
I do that. Yeah. So
you are. I mean, you know, there's times I'm watching the 10 o'clock news on Channel 5 and Bill Taylor will say something dumb and just the look on your face. And when I say dumb, he might say it's going to be cold. And I could tell you don't like that.
Well, I don't care if it's cold or not.
Yes, you do.
I don't. It's okay. But no, I mean, sometimes you don't. If you got plans on the weekend or whatever, you don't. can I go back to the steak for just a minute because Pledge brought up something.
Here we go.
Kind of cool. Steak sauce.
No.
See, but a lot of people like steak sauce. I don't, especially if it's a good steak. Now, if we're going back to Jim's, then maybe.
Poor Jim's.
I know. I love Jim's, actually.
Pick on Luby's. They're closing.
Not for a steak, though, from Jim's. I breakfast is great there. However, but it's not steak sauce. A lot of people like it.
I think about like my dad, you
had to have
those that when you're eating steak, but it might be subpar, you have to do some things to dress it up. Yes. But if you're at Myron's and you ask for steak sauce, I think Patrick, the GM over there, will throw you out. And if not, he should throw you out.
I don't think he would have to. I think the chef would be running out of the kitchen with a knife and a fork and running you out of the place.
You talk about prima donnas, that chef.
Exactly.
It is nuts that way. I think about watching the 10 o'clock news last night and Bill Taylor and his lame jokes with Sharon Coe, like sharing cold. Bad dad joke number 86, right? You did a story last night on Channel 5 that's worthy of discussion here. Jerry World is a destination stadium. So I'm fortunate enough to go to a lot of Cowboy games every year, 4 or 5 every year, and have for a number of years. And every game, it feels like whatever fan base was, whoever the Cowboys are playing, oh man, we took over that stadium. No, you didn't. It's just a normal Sunday at Jerry World. I mean, that's that one. It seats 100,000 people,
right?
And Cowboy fans can buy a season ticket plan, go to a couple of games, sell the rest, and make money. And they're going to the games for free. So it's not unusual to see a large number of the other fans there because there's plenty of tickets for sale. But I think a lot of groups get together. They look at the schedule. Man, we're playing the Cowboys on the road. We're going to that game.
Sure.
It's a destination stadium. Your story last night, last time San Francisco played in that building, it felt like a San Francisco home game.
A lot of red.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend for the playoffs. Will Cowboy fans sell their tickets or will they go?
Well, it's interesting because the Cowboys have asked the fans to wear white.
Mm-hmm.
They want a whiteout in AT&T Stadium. So if you've got a bunch of San Francisco fans in red, then it's going to show up big time if Cowboy fans do what they've been asked to do.
Yeah, but they all have blue jerseys, so they're not.
Well, they probably won't. It's like when they give you a free T-shirt at the AT&T Center and they ask you to put it on, nobody does. Even though they shame you on the Jumbotron. But
they do.
I digress, right? So if the fans, and the majority of them come in a white shirt, then you're going to know how many San Francisco fans are. Hey, the Los Angeles Rams, I mean, it was like playing a road game for them last week. There were so many San Francisco 49er fans that showed up in that stadium. And granted, I know that's Los Angeles. It's not a long trip, but most flights from San Francisco to Dallas are straight through, and it's an easy deal. So it would not surprise me to see a lot of San Francisco fans, and not just San Francisco fans coming from California. Dallas, unlike San Antonio, where San Antonians are pretty loyal to the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of cheese balls in Dallas that are fans of other teams.
Well, they're not from there. And it's no different than when the Lakers come into town. There end up being a lot of Laker fans at the AT&T Center. There might be 3 or 4 Rocket fans in there tonight, although I don't know anybody that's going to shell out money to go see an 11-win team. But when they were good, that would happen. But the secondary ticket prices right now for Cowboys-Niners, for this Sunday's game, standing room only tickets, those SRO tickets, are starting at $180. So when you add in all the fees and taxes, that's about $250 a ticket to go inside and look at the Jumbotron. Because for those standing room tickets, unless you're Boban, if you're not on the front rail, you're watching it on the TV.
Well, it's not only that, Jason. You're in like a cattle pen.
You are.
So if you're up front and you got to go to the bathroom, you're done.
Screwed, and you're not getting your seat back.
No, you're not.
Or your spot back.
You're not getting it back. So it's gosh. Jerry was a genius, by the way, for doing that because there always are a lot of people there.
Well, and the cheapest seats. So basically, in that upper level, which has its own zip code or a different zip code than the field. $320, so about $435 with taxes and fees. The cheapest seat in the lower bowl is about $1,000 a pop.
Yeah.
So if there's a whole lot of Niner fans in there this weekend, at least I know some Cowboy fan has his rent covered for a couple of months.
Well, and that's nice, and they're supporting the state of Texas, so God bless them, right?
But you look at that and you sit there and you try to figure out this weekend's game. I'm used to seeing a lot from the other team there. The last home game, and yes, I'm going this week, and I'm on a 2-game losing streak inside of that building, and the offense has been crap. It's not my fault. You know, Rob Thompson is the jinx. When he shows up, things go bad. I'm not that guy.
Well, you're 0-2.
Well, but I'm 3-2 on the year. I'm just on a 2-game losing streak. Now, if things go bad this weekend, I'll take those arrows on Monday afternoon. But the last home game, and I don't know if this says more about Cowboy fans or the lack of Arizona Cardinal fans, but there weren't a lot of Cardinal fans in that building. And it was loud in there for the Dallas Cowboys. And they passed out all these towels and, you know, the white, it was loud. The energy in that building was incredible, yet the players did not feed off of that. And that was disappointing. That was. I've been there. I think about the Green Bay game, the Detroit game might have been one of the loudest I've been to with Cowboy fans. This weekend, I hope it's mainly Cowboy fans. I hope they're loud. And for the love of God, I hope Dak Prescott and those players feed off of that energy.
Well, yeah, you got to hope so, because you're right. That it was loud. And you could see that on TV. I wasn't there, but I was at the Green Bay game, where the Dez caught it game.
In Green Bay?
Well, no. That was in Dallas.
No, Dez caught it in Green Bay.
Was that Green Bay?
That was in Green Bay.
Green Bay beat Dallas.
They did.
Okay.
A different year, because
but Green Bay came back and rallied.
Yeah,
to win
Aaron
that game.
Rodgers is a witch.
My mistake. Anyway, it was loud in there that game.
That was a loud game.
It was very loud.
The Detroit game was loud. You
don't need to be loud against Detroit.
It was a playoff game. The worst part about that Green Bay game is everybody thought the Cowboys had that thing won. Aaron Rodgers had time. Crosby kicks a damn long field goal. Then there's tornadoes outside. We get to the airport. Plane doesn't leave.
Right.
And we ended up at that Sheraton near Love Field for like $450 a night. To spend a couple hours there and be on a 6 a.m. flight. It was awful.
I had to stick around and do TV that night. So 3rd and 27 game. That's right. And Rodgers completed the pass for the first down, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, the Dez was. You're right.
Thanks
you're
for
right.
bringing
you're
me
right.
down, man.
Well, I'm not trying to bring anybody down. Look, all I'm saying is that I hope Cowboy fans bring it. They've been doing their job.
Yep.
Now it's time for the Cowboys to do their job and beat San Francisco. And it's gonna be a tough game. Difficult.
Cowboys are 2-0 at home against San Francisco in their history.
Well, that's good for whatever that matters.
It doesn't mean a damn thing.
The last time they were there was 2014. So it's been a long time since the Niners have been in a Cowboy Stadium.
Why does it feel like it's been sooner than that? Didn't Nick Mullins play the Cowboys sooner than that?
Well, let's find out.
I mean, we can find these, but it feels like it's been sooner than that.
The only reason I say that, and I'm going to say I could be wrong, but the video I showed last night was from 2014.
Well, it might have been 2014 since the fan takeover.
But I got the info from WFAA in Dallas, our sister station. And so I'm assuming they're correct. I'll trust them, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I'll trust.
And if I'm wrong, I'm going to blame
Nick
them.
Mullins has been around. He could have been quarterbacking in that game. I have no idea. It might have been 2014. It just feels like they played Nick Mullins not that long ago.
No, it was 2020. Okay.
Was that the Nick Mullins game in 2020?
2020. So there was a game in 2014.
There was a game in 2014, but there was also a game in 2020.
Okay, well, I guess
it's the CJ Beathard game.
CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, same thing.
In 2020 must not have been a fan takeover. Which goes to show you again in the media, we just blow things up to blow things up, right? 2014 they took over, 2020 not so much.
That's what it is. Are we getting a retraction tonight at 10?
No, you just got one. So there, deal with that.
If you want a fan takeover, We'll talk some Spurs coming up. They've got the Rockets
We got some
tonight.
breaking news with that, by the way.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
Do we want to break the news or hold
Well,
it?
no, we'll talk about the Spurs.
So it's not that much of breaking
Well, it's not
news.
that, but, you know, we're going to call it breaking news. It's what we do in the media. We blow things up.
You got to break that Channel 5 stuff. I mean, if you go to Ken's 5, or at least if you were there earlier today, they had breaking news on the website, kens5.com. Cold and cloudy this morning. Read more.
What's wrong? There's a saying in TV. The tease is always better than the story. Okay?
I thought if it bleeds, it leads.
Not anymore. That doesn't happen. Although, you know, some stations in town still believe that.
I'm with you there. Breaking news. Cold and cloudy this morning. Read more.
Did you read more?
No, Pledge sent me a picture of it. He was making fun of it. He wanted to know, when did cold and cloudy become breaking news?
We're in San Antonio. It's always breaking news.
Very true. Bill Taylor always gets his way. Read more. Cowboys, Niners on Sunday afternoon. You got playoff games on Saturday, Spurs game tonight. You know there's no better place in San Antonio to go watch the game than at the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Those 3 massive 170-inch screens. They've got TVs all around, and they've got great food. Their food at Rue Pub is fantastic, all made from scratch. They have the best, probably the biggest wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great apps. The kitchen is open late as well, till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. Of course, Rue Pub, man, they have all the beers you want, full bar. Game room is fantastic. Best darts area in town. They have indoor cornhole, and they have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. The Rue Pub, next to the Angry Elephant. They're at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
It's drive and determination.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
It's magic and mayhem.
Long three is good.
We've got NBA action live on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
You know, injuries do happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There's no reason for you to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490, 804-5490, or learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmitt's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative, restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Start now with a free consultation at QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call today, 571-0318.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 in 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you're currently listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM, on February 1st, you'll need to retune your radio to 1250 AM and 103.3 FM. Same great programming, stronger signal, we think. Probably not.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I've only got 10 seconds, so here's my plug. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
New year, new cash contest. Go to sasportstar.com. Get yourself registered. You can kick off the new year with an extra $1,000. Just go to sasportstar.com. That new year, new cash banner there on the front page. Giveaway tab, register. It is that simple. And while you're there, find that meat photo in your phone from your grill. Upload that. You can win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market tomorrow. It's the Blitz. He's Joe Right Angle. I'm Jason Minix.
It can even be on a Traeger, right?
Of course. If it's off Traeger, you get bonus points.
You do?
In my mind.
Okay.
I'm the one judging your meat. So, yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
On the grill.
Yeah.
I want to see some steaks or some chili this week. And some good chili recipes. I've never done my own chili.
You know, that would be good to get somebody to send us a good chili recipe. Somebody that's not one of those, hey, it's a family secret that we've had for a million years and I don't want to share it. Somebody got a good chili recipe, I'll cook it and I'll let you know what we think. We'll judge that thing.
We will. And for me, not too hot. I can't eat. I don't want to burn my mouth.
Dude.
I don't want to burn my mouth. I ain't gonna lie, but I'll control that. You can put certain things in the recipe. I will leave them out.
So we're going to make 2 batches because I like it spicy.
Sure.
Okay.
Just add your Tabasco sauce. You'll be fine.
Tabasco, so you don't do that.
Do you eat spicy?
I love spicy food.
Okay. I can't. Yeah. I can't.
No, I love spicy food. The spicier, the better.
I love the spice flavor, right? Like jalapeno poppers. Just not, I can't do the heat. I want to, I don't want my mouth burning, and 3 hours later, I don't want to spend the rest of the night by myself.
Well, it's a good cleanse. It's good.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's good for you.
That's what they say about juicing too. I don't do that either.
But it's good for you sometimes.
Is it really?
You get all that stuff out of there.
Uh-huh.
Right. Hey, just real quick. Pop says that Derek White probably won't play tonight, but Jeff McDonald says that Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell went through warm-ups.
Okay.
And it depends on how they look, but it looks like they might play. So there you go.
They might not get that conditioning day off.
True. It was the pregame warm-up. That was their conditioning.
Bob needs the warm bodies tonight. Spurs, Rockets down at the AT&T Center. We'll talk about that tomorrow, and more Cowboys Niners talk as we get ready for that playoff game. Watch Joe tonight at 10 on Ken's 5. Wake up with Rob and Rudy tomorrow morning at 7. Have a good night, everybody.
San Antonio Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em. Online at sasportstar.com.